What's up, everybody? Welcome to Order 42. I'm Rob, and today with us today is Jay.
Hi, how's it going?
I'm
Good
doing.
to be back.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. How are you doing?
I'm swell, hanging in there just like everyone else, just doing stuff, doing the
Doing the
thing, yeah.
right.
Yes.
That's
Refreshing.
weird. I can actually see there's like a piece of fuzz on the baseboard there.
I think I see it.
And Eagle Ford is here with Vicky. Hey, how's it going?
What up, what up? I need to pull up the
the old Chatsky. That's Russian, by the way.
It's Russian?
Yeah, Chatsky.
Russian for what? Oh, Chatsky.
I'm just being stupid.
Well, if you add ski to anything, it makes it Russian.
Right, or Vich. Something Ovich.
Yeah.
Robovich.
Linkovich. Oh, look at me. I'm messing around over here.
Oh,
Okay.
Here we go.
I just wanted the did you hear that? Did you hear that commercial playing just then?
Yeah.
So have you had that yet? The Travis Scott burger?
No, I haven't.
It's not terrible. I got to be honest. It's
But it's just, what is it? It's just lettuce and bacon, right?
yeah, I mean, it's basically adding lettuce to a quarter pounder with bacon, because the quarter pounder with bacon is
Right.
a thing already. And it's just adding lettuce to that. It works, oddly. It's like you wouldn't think it would be much of anything, but it works. It's almost like it's like a Big Mac and a quarter pounder mashed together
Right.
kind of thing. It's
I haven't had fast food since March.
it's a long time.
It is. And dude, I'm tired of cooking. I'm tired of all that. Dude,
I haven't had fast food since about an hour ago.
Yeah, I mean, it's, with my medication, it's like,
Right.
it's kind of scary. Albert's here. What's up, Albert?
What's up, Alberto?
Oh, and by the way, Eagle Ford said hi to you.
What's up?
So look, I got tons of questions for you. Some of them you've already covered in your videos, which of course I've posted your YouTube in the chat there, but
Well, let's get to it. Ask me the question.
But like, something that I've been wondering about is you're not as active on Twitter as some others. Is that by design?
No. I don't. I have to kind of. Well,
Are you like Johnny? And then you're like Johnny, just send it to the internet.
With
your
send
hash
it to the
browns?
internet. Hash brown. One of those hash browns on it. Hash brown Team J or something, and then send it to the end. That's so great. No, I don't like to spend a lot of time on social media because it'll turn into that. You know what I mean? It'll be a complete time suck, and I mean, if I'm gonna be lazy doing nothing, I'd rather not have social media in front of my face while doing it. So, but I mean, I tweet daily, but I stream daily, so it's kind of a work thing, I guess. No, I just I don't know. It's yeah. I don't I don't know. What's up, Fist of Bucho?
Yeah, what's up, Bucho? How's it
What's
going?
Up, yeah, no, I just don't I mean, even Instagram, I just post memes.
Right.
So I like Twitter. Twitter's probably my favorite of the social medias. Social media is a necessary evil,
right,
in my opinion. It's extremely good for networking, promoting, promoting what you're doing, your business stuff.
I just screwed something up, I think. Hold on.
You did screw something up. Are we back?
Are you still talking?
I am talking. I'm talking.
Okay. I'm
I got
wondering.
all day.
Dude,
I got all day.
Give me a second.
Whatever you did, undo it. Hit
That's how we
Control
love to
T.
do it. Start off with some problems. And I'm hitting the microphone. Okay.
Is that better? Can you hear me?
Yeah, for some reason, the last 2 times I've had somebody on the show, it's not on your end and it's not even going through on stream, but it's like a crackly thing and I can barely hear you. So I have to like unplug
yeah, I
my
can't hear it at all. So
yeah, I have to unplug my headphones and then plug them back in.
gotcha. That's weird. Technology. You know what's weird? Last night I started my stream and my computer just was not recognizing my mic. You know, and I took it out, plugged it in, took it out, plugged it in, took it out, plugged it in. Like the 5th time, it's all of a sudden,
It's like,
mic's here.
Hey.
Yeah, basically. But no, what I was saying about social media is it's a necessary evil. It's really good for promoting your business, promoting, you know, what you're trying to do, networking, all that kind of stuff. But dude, social media, especially right now, without getting into too much politic talk, it is just, it's vile. Like Facebook, especially, man. It is just not a fun time to be on Facebook scrolling, listening to everyone's bullshit, basically. So
Yeah.
I try to keep a lot of that kind of stuff away from me and out of my head. That way I can just stay in a better place in general, not you know, mentally and emotionally, obviously, but
Yes.
I don't know. I choose to not indulge.
No,
with,
and
with that kind of thing.
I'm right there with you, and it's something actually Leon and I were talking about it earlier today, and it was like, he's like, yeah, I haven't been on Twitter, and he goes, because he was asking, he's like, are you streaming today? I was like, yeah. Rudy.
What's up, Rudy?
Uh,
me. Yeah, see, that's what I was saying. Like, I'm either, hey, I'm live, you know, here's the link,
right.
or I'm doing memes or something. You know, I figure, I mean, look, nobody's following me to hear about politics, so I don't talk about it. I keep it out. So
Right.
if I can make someone laugh by sharing a stupid meme daily, then cool. I won the internet that day, I guess. So
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I don't know if I'm just weak or what, but man, I'm telling you, Twitter and Facebook, it just puts me in a mood, and it just puts me, I'm just like,
it's easy to do, and that's exactly what I mean, and that's why I just stay off of it.
yeah.
So.
Because the thing is like I use Twitter. I used to use Twitter all the time for, you know, like the MMA stuff that I followed, and then of course you guys, all of you guys,
right.
So now I've got to try to rethink things, because there's news that is dropped, you know, that drops, and it's always the first place is Twitter, and it's like, okay, can I wade through all the anti-Trump, anti-Biden, anti-whatever to get to what I actually was here for, instead of,
I know.
You know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Absolutely, I know what you mean. It's annoying. You know, not to sound like I don't want to come on here and just start bitching and griping.
Do it.
Time, but this is the state we live in right now, and I'll say the things people are thinking. It's annoying. It's extremely annoying.
Right.
You know, like if I wanted all that politics and all that kind of stuff, I would go and follow somebody political. You know what I'm saying? I would go and search out that page, that person, or whatever. Like, I don't know. And I understand. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's just like if I started sharing a bunch of gaming news, nobody's following me. If anybody's following me, it's because I don't know why you're following me. But anyway, the point is, I'm not your news source for gaming. You know, follow Spawnwave, or, you know, one of those guys that's really clued in. RGT85. Eric, gosh, Eric has been on fire lately.
Yeah, he has. Eric's been doing really good, actually. His channel's gaining a lot of momentum right now. So it's just good. Good for Eric.
But you know what I mean, though? It's
I'm sorry, what?
It's exactly the same thing. You don't follow me for gaming news. You definitely don't follow me for politics.
Right.
So it's like, and I heard you can mute certain words so you don't get that political shit on Twitter.
Right.
Yes. But sometimes it overlaps with something that you actually do want to know. And it's like,
yes, it can. It can. And look, I get everyone's entitled to their opinion. I completely understand that. I completely respect that. But at the same time, it's like, I don't have to listen to your opinion. I don't have to follow you and like you said, wade through all that
Noise.
thigh high noise. Right. I was gonna say something a little more crass, but we'll call it noise. You know, like give me my boots because the shit is stacking up in here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
and like Rudy, I mean, I'm pretty sure that is, you know, our Rudy, right?
Right. I hope so.
He is a meme master on Facebook. But it's like some of the stuff that he does on there, it's like, can I just get to just, I guess I'm just going to pull up Rudy's page every now and then instead of going through the feed because
dude, I don't even scroll feeds. Like if I get on Twitter, it's strictly to post. You know, I haven't scrolled down Twitter and I'll be honest, over a month.
Yeah. Like,
you know what I mean? Like on my phone, like what's everyone up to today? What is Eric saying? What is Square Parent saying? What is Rob Michael saying? I don't even none of that.
I don't do Facebook at all.
Yeah, I don't scroll. I haven't scrolled in like a month.
I think it's because I guess it's one of those things where the way that I look at social media is that I'm either announcing something, hey, Jay's going to be on the show tomorrow, or it's something that I've thought out well, you know, and it's something that nobody else is saying or something unique to me. Mm-hmm. The problem is nobody else is doing that. It's like, I've been saying this for about a month now, that I think that Twitter and Facebook is like the first draft of a bad idea.
Okay, I like that.
You know what I mean? It's not well thought out. It doesn't have any, I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to, I'm the same with you though. I don't want to get too political, but it's like,
it's just toxic, man. That's the best word to describe social media right now. It's just toxic.
Yeah.
In my opinion, Facebook is worse than Twitter. I like Twitter because it's a little less, you get a little less people trolling, and maybe it's because, you know, the limits on how many characters you can type, so you can't say everything you want to say, or at least not in one tweet. But it's just like, I don't know, man. It's crazy. And like, the funny thing is, so I got two Facebook accounts, right? I got my personal one, like people, you know, maybe 350 people on it, right? People I've known, I've worked with, went to school with, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then I got one for like fans and everyone else. I got almost 5,000 people there. And I see less on that one than I do over on the smaller one. And maybe it's because I have so many people and I get so many messages, I get tagged in so many things, I'm a part of so many groups. So maybe it's just kind of unknowingly filtering for me, but I see way less of all that crap on the one with 5,000 people than the one with like 400 people. It's kind of weird.
Right. But it's like, you know, and he was saying Bucho said if Trump or Pelosi or whatever is overlapping with Baby Yoda or Bruce Willis sex tape or whatever, it's worth the sacrifice. Look, I'm.
Oh, wait, I want to say something real quick. Not a baby, not Yoda. I'm just saying it has a name.
Right.
It's a child.
Right.
It's not a baby. That irritates me. I get it. I understand why people. It's Baby Yoda. Look at him. He's so cute. He's a little Yoda, and he's got doe eyes and blah blah blah. But F that little bastard.
But see, that's what I'm saying though. Is like the Baby Yoda thing. I get why everybody uses it, because when you say the child, not everybody's clued in, and you're like, what? But if you say Baby Yoda,
everyone knows. 100%
of the people know exactly what you're talking about.
Even if you're not watching Mandalorian, people know what Baby Yoda is. You're
right.
But I don't know why it irritates me so much.
He irritates you?
No, not the child. When people say Baby Yoda, that's like a trigger for me for some reason. I don't understand why. Like I can't
call it what it is.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around or pinpoint why that irritates me so much, but it just does. Just because he's not a baby. What is he? 50 years old? 55 years old?
Yeah.
I ain't a baby. Dumb.
Yeah, but he's
still
not
kind Yoda. Of a toddler. Yoda's Yoda.
Right. No, I get you. I'm totally with you. But I just like, whatever. By the way, it's the one that used to really bother me as a kid is when somebody would say CP3O.
CP3O?
Yeah, they'd get things mixed up.
C3PO? Okay.
Yeah. It's somebody's screen name on a Twitch streamer I was watching earlier was C Creepio.
Yeah, see, creepio. So okay, this makes some sense. When you live 900 years, you're a baby at least 55. And well,
that's just good science.
Yeah, good science. I mean, there's some logic to that, but
yeah, I think they said. I think they said that he's supposed to be around 5 years old right now. Like
okay,
in
right.
human.
Right. If you do the mathematical conversion, right? That's science too. He's like 5 years old. 5-year-old is not a baby.
Right.
A 5-year-old's a child. So even
tiny,
if you put science or math or whatever you want to put to it, still not a baby.
I just wish they would come out with a. And it's gonna be one of those things. It's gonna piss off anybody that. There's gonna be people that are gonna be pissed off about it. But just name the species. So you can just say.
Oh, I agree. Why haven't they? How come like? And you know what? It never dawned on me until all of this. Like,
we know Boba Fett's favorite color, but we don't know Yoda's species.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. We know everyone else's species and what they are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Damn that George.
Oh boy, here we go. See, is Baby Yoda you Trump supporter or Biden? Rudy?
You know what? Whoever he supports, that is his option. I respect his right to choose.
What other push the button on the statement you're supposed to make. You know what I mean? Because it was like,
you know what? I honestly, I don't give a shit who votes for who you support, who you back, who you believe in. I don't care, because if you're a decent person, you're a decent person. So that's what I care about.
Right.
Know?
But it's, I don't know. Hey.
But this is opening a door that people will kick in.
I know.
So let's jump.
Okay, so then let me ask you this: have you been to a movie in the last 6 months?
No, I'm not. Movie theaters are open. At least here they are.
Right.
I think we're supposed to go. To 75%, make Yoda great again. Hang on, you're implying that Yoda became not great at some point. He's always been the man. We're supposed to go to 75% capacity. I think next, maybe starting Monday. What's today? The 26th. I don't know what that has to do with the movie theaters, but no.
Yeah, but I mean, that's part of it, right? I mean,
yeah, it's part of it, obviously. I don't even know what's out right now, dude. That's the thing. I don't know. And while I'm going places and doing things, I'm still not like I'm not quick to be around a whole bunch of people and in close quarters with too many people right now. I'm just not. I'm still kind of keeping distance. So
yeah, for me, it's like, of course, it's like I'm still locked down completely, because I have a doctor's appointment like in a week and a half. And I'm going to ask him, I'm like...
actual going in, or is it virtual?
No, virtual.
Okay.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I feel fine, so there's no reason for that. But I still want to ask him, I'm like, look, I know this stuff that I'm taking is supposed to make me compromised, but exactly how compromised? Because I feel like there's times when I feel like I'm going completely overboard by not going out. Okay. At least with a mask or something, It's like, I can be careful, but... should I be that worried, or should I really stay my ass at home? It's so scary.
See, you have underlying health issues though. So, like, if I was in your position, as much as it would drive me nuts, I would probably try to stay home as much as possible, because like I said, you do have existing health issues. I just noticed that this camera is pretty whack. Like, yours is crystal clear. Mine's not that great.
Well, it's weird though. Zoom kind of does that a little bit. Whoever's coming in, it looks a little on the less crisp.
I need to.
Rudy said he gives your camera 1 out of 5.
looks like I'm filming through a potato right now. I have an external camera, and it's just not hooked up right now. So I need to, and I got a really good one. Damn thing was like $150. So I mean, I'm not doing anything about it now, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Nightbot is going nuts. Nightbot, calm down with the events. Jeez.
Nightbot's the real MVP though.
Yeah. I mean, he's posting all the cool stuff, but still.
Yeah, he is.
Not all in a row. Not bam, bam, bam. Okay.
Hey, spread it out, Nightbot.
Yeah, here's all of it.
Then we won't hear from Nightbot for like 40 more minutes.
Yeah. Maybe now would be a good time to segue into the segment on UFOs. I was actually going to ask you about UFOs, but I'm curious about what you think about I mean, I just wanted to kind of warm you up a little bit. No, I'm not going into theaters, but so what do you think about all of these delays? Because
with
to me,
movies and shows and stuff.
Yeah, because this is just what I think. I think that by delaying, Black Widow and basically all the movies that have been basically bumped till next year.
Okay.
I think what that's going to do is it's going to scare the studios a little bit because they're not making the money on the on-demand stuff.
Okay.
And if they're not bringing in the money like Tenet is supposed to be, the biggest movie of the year, one of the biggest movies of the year, and it's not making that much money here. So does that mean that in the future they'll say, well, instead of having 5 big tentpole movies and 10, independent type or lower budget films, now we're only going to have 2 big ones? Like, you know what I mean? It's like they're going to be like they can't. I
don't see that happening because at the end of the day, when you're talking business, you're talking money, and that's the goal for any business is to make money. So I don't see it.
You think they'll continue to take the same risks then?
Yeah. I mean, why not? Like I mean, superhero movies are hot right now. Isn't The Rock filming what is he
Black
filming?
Adam.
Black Adam, right.
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like there's got to be a breaking point. If, like, for example, they expected Tenet to make between 800 million and $1 billion worldwide, and it's barely cracked 300 million so far. Most people were thinking that it was going to make around 200 million in the first weekend.
Well,
and
you have to understand that the time we're in right now is not like a movie like Tenet is not going to do what it's projected to do because people aren't going to the theater right now. There's a lot of just because things are open doesn't mean people are going, and that's across the board with everything. That's with restaurants, that's
right.
with movie theaters, that's with events. That's with everything. Just because you can doesn't mean people are, because it's a serious thing. COVID's a serious thing. People are getting sick and people are dying from it. I mean, nobody wants that. So what they're going to do is they're staying away. They're staying home. That's why it's not making money. I don't think it has anything to do with delays. With all these delays, once we do get a vaccine and then people feel comfortable going out because there is a vaccine, and
right.
that's what it's going to take, then all these movies are going to make the money they're supposed to be making. It's just anything put out right now isn't going to do as well as it should because people aren't indulging and going to the movies. They're not. I haven't even thought about going to the movies, honestly.
Right.
And all this, I just haven't.
I miss going to the movies, but at the same time, it's like what I keep thinking is not just how much the studios are losing, right now by not putting out the movies that are already ready.
Right.
But the movie theaters, how are they going to stay afloat all this time? You know what I mean?
I mean, in theory, if you're as big as AMC, if you're as big as Cinemark, in theory, you should have some kind of cushion financially, in theory. I know AMC has been very, very vocal, especially early on, about we're not going to make it. We're not going to survive. We need bailout. We need this. We need that. It's
crazy.
The hard thing that you can't plan for something like this. Like nobody would have ever thought. You know what I mean? Like when you're
very few people were saving up for a pandemic
exactly.
before this happened.
You can't. But you got to understand, like movie theaters, these things are making billions, right? billions. If I'm head honcho of something like this and I got to take a pay cut to keep, my business going, then that's what I do. That's what Jay would do.
Right. I was going to say.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Um, I don't know, but I don't live above my means. You know what I'm saying? Even if I was a millionaire, I'm not living in a 15,000 square foot home. I'm not living in a house with more bathrooms than bedrooms. It's just not me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go out and buy Lamborghinis and Rolls Royces, and I'm gonna go buy a F-150. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But that's me. So I would, yeah, if I was CEO of AMC or Cinemark, I would definitely have money saved, banked, put away, and I could afford to not get paid for a little bit if it helps keep something open.
I mean, it's going to be, like, from my perspective, I just think it's going to be interesting because I feel like, hey, Pigeon Vice.
What's up, Pigeon Vice?
But you know what I mean? It's like, I just feel like that's the breaking point, I feel, because their whole model for 100 years, well, maybe not 100 years, anytime we've had home video, the reason the movies kept getting bigger is because they were making the money in box office, then they were making it on home video. Right. Now it's just home video. And it's like Tenet might do okay when it's all said and done, but it's not going to be anywhere close to the way it was back then.
See, one thing you can't duplicate in home is that movie theater experience, that surround sound. You know what I mean? That rumbling of whatever you're watching. Jurassic Park. You think Jurassic Park is way better watching in a movie theater than at home? You know what I mean? You got the sounds, the ambiance, the rumbling whenever the T-Rex shows up, all that kind of stuff. You can't replicate that. It's very hard to replicate that.
Think about just movies like comedies. Comedies are funnier when everybody's all like, ah.
Exactly.
You laugh louder, you laugh harder. It's a different experience.
So, I don't want to say, like, I don't even want to use this word. I was going to say nostalgia, but that's not even the right word. That movie theater experience, people want that. People want it. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason people still go to the movies. There's a reason that people are sneaking in their own soda pops and their own candies and stuff because they want to go to the movies. They just don't want to pay, movie theater concession prices. But you can go to the movies and not have to deal with that. And the other way is, what movie came out recently? I think it was a Disney movie, and you were able to buy it for like 30 or 40
Mulan.
Mulan, okay. And how much was that? $30, $40?
30, yeah.
$30, okay. And you own it?
On top of your Disney Plus. Well,
on top of your Disney Plus.
It's in your Disney Plus account as long as you have Disney Plus.
Okay.
So in a way, it's not really buying it. You're kind of...
And here's the other thing. Now we're kind of segueing into physical media versus download only, right? So if you decide I don't want Disney Plus, it's just gone. You lose it.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
But if you go out and you buy this thing on Blu-ray, you can get rid of Disney Plus and still have Mulan.
Well, and I think that's what's going to happen is that basically the $30 was basically like a premium. You get to watch it before everybody else that doesn't. You can't rent it. You can't buy it. That's the only place you can get it. It's kind of trying. I think they were trying to replace the theater model by doing something like that, but it's just nobody's got it right yet. And then you've got the whole deal with between the studios and the theaters where they have their little contracts or whatever that says you can't release we won't show a movie in our theater if it's also available digitally. Right.
And I completely understand that logic, because then what you're going to do is you're like, that theater is going to lose a huge portion. Not everyone, but they're going to lose a huge portion of moviegoers.
Right.
And I don't blame them for saying
we're going to put the movies that we've, the studios are working with us. We're going to put those on the big IMAX screen or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's
having them in those theaters is worth money to them.
The the movie watching way is, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with going to the movies. Oh, I like this movie. In 6 months when it comes out on DVD, I'm going to go pick it up, and then I own it. I can watch it whenever I want. There's nothing wrong with that way. I don't think that's an outdated format, honestly. I just don't. The proof in that, if I want to, like, well, what makes me say that? How can I back that up? Because you can still go buy physical media of these things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not going anywhere yet. It's not ready to go anywhere yet. I don't want movie theaters to shut down. You know, I got the AMC rewards card, so I get points built up, and I get free soda on my birthday and $5 movies on Tuesdays, and I don't want it to go anywhere. So I don't think we're ready to phase out movie theaters right now. I just don't.
Well, to me it's like, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a movie dork.
Uh-huh.
But I've been saying for years that you can only see a movie the first time once.
That's true.
Right? And sometimes that experience is part of the movie.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that makes...
No, it does. It makes total sense.
Like, I remember the first time I saw 12 Monkeys, I was getting sick watching it. First time I watched it was in the theater. I was getting sick. Every time I watch it, I remember that. Huh?
I said that movie's crazy.
Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. And I remember the Matrix, seeing it opening night.
Right.
And the crowd going freaking ballistic.
Dude, do you know how many times I hear someone say, I wish I would have seen fill in the blank in the theaters. I was too young. You know what I mean? And I have movies like that too. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I wish I could have seen Goonies in the theater. Not that I was too young. We just didn't have the money to take everyone to the movies like that when I was growing up. You know, E.T., I never saw that in the theater. I was 3. So if I was there, I don't remember it, you know, and this is what I'm saying. And you now are backing up what I said, where it's difficult to replicate that movie going experience at the theater.
Right.
And people don't want that to go away. People love that feeling. People love that experience. People also love to be lazy. And there's nothing wrong with having both. And we do. Movie hits theaters, and then we see it later on Hulu or Netflix or whatever.
See, I almost, man, it's so tough because, like, I think what's in place, the reason that the theaters, you know, they want their cut of the movie too, right? They want, you know, they want to be able to display it on the best seating and all that kind of stuff. All the stuff they've put in place, their surround sound speakers, everything they've done to make it a premium experience. They want to be able to do that. But there was something that I'd read a couple of months ago that was saying that they were going to make deals with Universal, where Universal could release the movies in theaters, but also release it digitally on the same day. And it was only at AMC theaters would do this. And they were basically cutting AMC into the digital sales. The problem is you'd have to make a deal with every single studio, every single theater chain,
right,
in order for them to take the deal. And it's like,
but
this gets so much more complicated when you bring the home video at the same time.
But it can be done. That's the thing.
Right.
And this is the only way you're going to, because I mean, we talked about this the last time I was on. It's been a little bit, but that was the whole deal. Is AMC was extremely pissed off with Universal, and they're like, hey dude, we're supposed to be getting this first, and here you are releasing Trolls 2 for everyone to just do what they want to do with it.
Right.
I find that to be honestly kind of a nice little happy medium. Like,
cutting the studios.
We're gonna give you the movie because we know people want to go to your theater to watch, but we also know people don't want to go to a theater and watch. So we're gonna release it digitally. So to compensate for that, your loss of wages, so you don't sue our ass off, we're gonna give you a cut of digital sales as well. I think it's kind of fair.
But so that would mean that every studio would need to cut in sales of a particular title to each theater chain.
In theory, yes.
Right? So like if Cinemark wanted to play Trolls 2,
Right.
Universal will have had to cut them into
Right.
the digital. Man, that's
Right.
where it gets weird, and it's
Well, it gets expensive for the movie studios
right.
at that point.
So then, what's the price? I mean, is it going to be $30 to basically rent it one time from iTunes or Google Play, or well, it's not Google Play anymore, is it?
Here's the thing. That's what they set the price at, and that's what people paid. So yeah, probably. You know what I mean? Probably.
I don't know. Like for me personally, I'd pay $30 to rent Tenet right now, just because I'm a huge fan. But I guarantee you, huh?
I wouldn't.
I didn't for Mulan. I didn't for Invisible Man. I didn't for The Hunt. Even though I just saw The Invisible Man, and that was a kick-ass movie. But
here's the thing, though. If I pay $30 to rent a movie that only I'm watching, I'm spending 3 times the money that I would spend if I actually went to the theater.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm absolutely out on that. I'm so out on that because $30. Hell, if I go on a Tuesday, that's exactly $5. That's movie. $30 is movie, popcorn, and soda. Easy.
Yeah.
Well, hell, $30 is movie, popcorn, and a drink. Even if I go on a normal day. So no, I'm out. I'm completely out on that. I wouldn't do it.
And you get 64 ounces of Coke.
Sugary diabetes.
Give me the biggest cup of diabetes you got.
Yeah, no, I'm out on that. I could see it. You know, if I had.
It's so weird because you'd have to.
If I had a girlfriend or wife, and you know, we had 17 fucking kids and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, $30 is way cheaper.
Right.
Then and it's less of a headache getting everyone dressed and ready and let's go and get out of the bathroom and yeah, I mean, but
you're on something like that, you're paying for dinner or lunch or whatever. Exactly. You're doing this, you're doing that.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna make some peanut butter sandwiches. Let's sit down and watch Mulan. It's
or freaking order Domino's.
Right.
Two topping mediums are $6 still.
Right.
You know, that's great for the family, I think. But for someone like me who will just, you know what, I feel like watching a movie in the middle of the day, I'm just gonna go. It's not good for someone like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You say
diabetes, heart disease combo, hold the COVID.
Yeah. I don't know. It's such a weird thing, and it's like really what it comes down to is I like my big budget, crazy, big, insane movies, and I feel like if we go down this route, we're not going to get those big budget movies the same way because there's no way that the return will be there, you know?
Right, dude. I've seen every superhero movie in the last like 10 years in the theater.
Right,
and I wouldn't have it any other way. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And the next time I go see, what is it, Black Adam, I want to watch it in theaters. Shazam 2, I want to watch it in theaters. The next Spider-Man, I want to watch it in theaters. You know?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think we're ready. We're not ready to abandon the movie theater just yet. And I don't think we ever will be.
It's weird because I mean, like, I've had amazing theater experiences, especially for like first run, like The Dark Knight. Saw that opening night. That was amazing. You know, the whole audience was like electric. But then I've had absolutely god awful theater experiences where somebody's kicking my chair the whole time. Sure. I turn around and give them a look, and they kick me more. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to get in a fight in the movie theater, so I guess I'm just gonna have to take it. Or somebody, okay. This was when Jack Reacher was out for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
April and I were, you know, free on a weekend. We were like, hey, let's just go watch it. We'll go watch this afternoon showing. We had the absolute dumbest people in Tarrant County sitting behind us because they were explaining the plot of Jack Reacher. If any of you have seen Jack Reacher, it's not hard to follow. And the lady, every time there was a fight, the lady was gasping like it was real. Like, oh my God. Oh.
But you can have a crappy movie experience at home too. If the person next to you won't shut the fuck up. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or well, what's going on, dude? I'm watching it for the first time with you. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's gonna happen next. Just shut the fuck up. Watch the movie. Like, that can happen at home.
Right. No, I
Now, your
totally.
chances are less in your situation, obviously, but it can happen at home.
Yeah.
So look, like you know, I'm talking about the movie going experience.
Yeah.
Me and you watched, what was it, episode 2 in
Yeah.
theaters, and we stood in line all night long. Remember that? I wouldn't trade that for anything, dude.
It was so much fun.
I know. I wouldn't trade that for anything. I can't do that at home. What are we gonna do?
Well, it's
Line
weird
up in
now.
your living room and wait on Mulan 2 to release digitally? Come on, that's not fun.
But it's weird too because now even that's gone. Because now you pick your seats, so
Yeah.
you don't have to wait. You walk in 5 minutes before the movie starts.
That's a more recent thing that
Right.
more theaters have adopted, because as recently as episode 8, I stood in line. I was
Yeah.
in line, and I lined up. I don't know. I think I got there at like 4 p.m. I think the showing was like 8 or 9 or something like that. So I was like 5th in line or something. But
Yeah, see, I think it was me, my boss from work, and Brian from Switched On.
Mhm.
We all went and watched it, and we all kind of came out of the theater going, I don't know about this one. You know? And the whole way home, me and my boss were sitting there just kind of going, I don't know. It took me like 2 or 3 days to go, okay, I'm just going to go watch it again because I don't know what the hell to think. And then I went and watched it again, and I liked it.
Episode 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I went, a buddy of mine, his name's Buck, like he was 2 or 3 seats down from me, and he leans over and he goes, "What'd you think?" I said, "You didn't learn anything." He's like, "Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it too." So I don't know. I watched episode 8 twice. It didn't get better the second time. I'm good not ever seeing it again. Which is bad, because every Star Wars movie leading up to that I've watched a trillion times.
Yeah.
Even episode 1,
Yeah.
a trillion times.
Have you watched episode 9 more than
Not
once?
since that. No, I've only watched that one once too. I don't. I will watch it again. I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
I'll
see,
watch
for
it.
me, it was weird because we went and saw it. We didn't, in fact, yeah, we saw it opening night, and I was upset, and then I went and watched it again. Tried to clear my mind of all the things that I wanted to happen,
Right.
and instead of just try to enjoy what the movie was, and was like, yes, you know. And then the next time I watched it was when it came out on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever. I think we bought it digitally actually. And I watched it again and I was like, no, I don't like this one. Just not for me.
A lot crammed into that movie, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it now. I think the reason being is
Here we go with Star Wars again.
I know, always. Abrams was trying to fix Rian Johnson's fuck ups, in my opinion, and he had one movie to fix an entire film and make his own. It was too much in too short a span, man. I'll be honest, man. I've heard this rumor, and I don't think it's going to be true. I wish they would come out and be like, "Psych, April Fools, we're just joking. We're going to start episode 7 all over from scratch. We're just going to redo it." It ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen. But I would be like, I'm okay with that. Absolutely, these movies don't matter, and that kind of thing actually makes me mad. Like every time they fucking redid Hulk and rebooted the Hulk with a different actor. You know, it was Edward Norton, it was Mark Ruffalo, which he's the most recent, and it was who was the other one in the first one?
Eric Bana.
Eric Bana, thank you. It's like, wait, I'm supposed to forget about the movie before that? With Star Wars, I'd be like, cool, forgotten about. I'm done. I'm good. Because I've almost forgotten about him anyways.
It's weird because I didn't love Force Awakens, but I liked it. And then episode 8 came out. I didn't know what to think, and then I ended up liking it. And, you know, of course, you know, we sit on different sides of the aisle on that one. You know, you talk about, I think that's where the toxicity started on Twitter, is with freaking Last Jedi. But anyway, then episode 9 comes out, and it's like, okay, so you're trying to please everyone, and you're kind of pleasing no one right now.
I think J.J. Abrams had a really difficult job in making that film, though.
And see, I honestly think it's the same thing that happened with well, kind of with Solo in a way, where I don't know. I just feel like they've Disney. I honestly think it's Disney screwing it up, and not Lucasfilm. Like, I don't think Kathleen Kennedy has anything to do with it because she's made good stuff.
Yeah, but she's not made good Star Wars stuff. That's the problem.
Rogue One, Solo. You didn't like either one of those?
I like Solo.
The Mandalorian.
I credit fucking
Yeah, but you can't.
Paws. You got these claws. What's his name? John Favreau. That's who I credit. Okay.
John Favreau.
Favreau, right? Fuck Kathleen Kennedy.
I don't think it's Kathleen. I honestly don't. Especially after I saw that interview.
Anymore, is she?
Huh?
She's completely out of the Star Wars thing completely now.
I don't think so.
I heard she was.
But it's what got me really thinking was when there was an interview on StarWars.com with Bob Iger, and it was a really long interview. It was actually like, oh man, this is going to be interesting. How much he knew. It wasn't like I'm some out of touch CEO. This guy has been involved.
Okay.
And the more that he talked, the more I was convinced that he was the one. Like if there's really some big problems, I honestly think Kathleen Kennedy is more of a figurehead. And they're way more hands-on with the Lucasfilm stuff than they are with the Marvel stuff. And I feel like Kevin Feige's like, hey, y'all back off. I got this.
But see, but this is
Kathleen Kennedy's more of a let's all work together or whatever. And then because of that, there's a lot more problems.
John, fucking, I can't say his last name right now. He does the Marvel films though, right?
Jeppis, what's up, man? Thank you for the follow. John
Favreau.
Favreau.
Isn't he semi in charge of? He has a lot to do with the Marvel films.
Not
right?
so much anymore. I mean, he executive produced some.
Okay.
But I don't think, and I think he actually produced.
This is my point, though. His name was attached to that. His name is attached to Mandalorian. He's doing something right. He's keeping something in order.
Right.
Some way, somehow.
Right. But there was Bob Iger said that with the Mandalorian, he was very, very concerned. It's pronounced fava beans.
Fava beans.
Bob Iger was very hands-on with the Mandalorian, and so much that he wanted to watch the final episodes, the final cuts, to make sure that the changes were there.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that kind of makes you go, okay, if you look at episode 9, it looks like a studio came in and said, okay, people are mad at us for 8. Okay? We took a risk. We took a swing. It didn't work. It didn't land. We got to fix this. JJ, help us out, bud. And right. I think JJ did everything that he could, but I think that they still had their hands in there. And I don't even think that that's JJ's movie.
That stupid bitch Kathleen Kennedy. It's all on her.
I just don't think so.
It's all on her, dude. It's all on her. She was in charge of all of that. It's right. Like, dude, look, think of it this way. When a football team loses, it's the coach's fault. Okay?
No, I get you. I read you. But I don't think Kathleen Kennedy has as much power as people say. I think Bob Iger is popping his head in there a lot more.
Maybe now. I think Kathleen Kennedy was left to do too much. She had too much control, too much. Dude, when this dumb fucking broad goes, well, this is really hard for us. We got nothing to go on. We got no source material to go on when we're making these new movies. Bitch, you got 6 movies prior to that. Call George up and go, yo, help us out for a second here.
Well, okay.
Come on, man.
When she said that, I'm not gonna. I'm not sitting here defending.
You are defending her.
No, just wait. When she said that, that was in response to the new stuff they're planning on.
It's an ignorant statement, no matter what. It's an ignorant statement, no matter what.
Well,
because
and
you have all this source material out there. You have a plethora of source material out there.
But not in this time period.
So what? You take things that have already been done and you turn it into new. You have source material. She's a stupid fucking twat. She is a stupid. I know you're gonna cut this. She's a fucking cunt, dude. Fuck her.
I need to wave my hands
right
so on the replay I can.
Look, take a poll. Kathleen Kennedy, yay or nay?
Look,
people are gonna go fuck that broad.
But then you have to go and look at her IMDb, and you go, so she didn't have anything to do with all of these amazing movies she made.
Good actors make shitty movies all the time, dude. Good actors make shitty movies all the time.
If you look at her batting average, it's insanely good.
It doesn't mean she don't strike out.
Yeah, but you're talking about one after another. I don't think so.
You want to sports? Do you sports analogies? Nobody bats 1,000. No one.
No, you're right. You're right. But I'm just saying, I'm just not convinced that it's all Kathleen Kennedy. I think she's doing her best with Bob Iger peering over her shoulder. What I think. No, I think it's always been that way.
I don't know about that.
Because there's things about episode 7 that are a little funky now that we see them all, and you start to see some of these patterns, and you're like, I wonder how involved they were from the beginning. But
she makes me angry. It's her fault.
Hey, I get it. She's the figurehead, and they even said Disney has nothing to do with it, whatever. But then Bob Iger does this interview on StarWars.com and lays out this whole thing that he's been planning all this time, and you're like, wait a minute. You were not supposed to be involved, and suddenly you know all of these things, all of these decisions that were made. It just made me think.
Kathleen Kennedy started the Baby Yoda nickname. Fuck her. Look, dude. Okay. Look, hang on.
Okay. I feel like we need to.
I'll tell you whose fault this really is. It's not Kathleen Kennedy's fault. I'm going to apologize to yes. It's fucking Lucas's fault because he never should have sold it. Because if he hadn't sold it, we wouldn't have gotten episode 8. Okay.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, everybody talks about that now, but then look at how much crap he got for the prequels. If he made these new ones with this whole...
Episode 3 is amazing. Episode 3 is in my top 3.
Well, I know. But people gave him crap over episodes 1 and 2. Like, big time.
Well, they weren't great. But compared to 7, 8, and 9, fucking Gone with the Wind.
Well, what's interesting, though, would be to see what those scripts were. Because, of course, the idea of Rey, or the idea of the female-led hero... came from his scripts, right? They came from those, whatever. What I would be interested is they're talking about the whole, what is it? Inner space, the force that's inside. So basically digging into the midichlorians and what those mean. That's what the sequel episodes from George were supposed to be. So you kind of have to go, okay, wait a minute. I don't know if that would have been better or not.
Well, I mean, anything would have been better than what we got. Anything would have been better than what we got.
Hey, is episode 3 the third movie? No, it's actually the 6th movie released. It's the third movie in the story, but it was the 6th movie released, and it was released. Well, yeah, but how far? It takes place 30 years before, but it was actually filmed 30 years later, and you're like. Anyway.
Chronologically, yes. It's episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yes. But the story was
he's being a little trolly when he said that.
I know. And for the record, episode 3 did not suck balls, as you so eloquently put it, Leon. Episode 3 was badass. It literally has the best sword fighting scene in the entire anthology with Obi-Wan and Anakin. Episode 3, you know why I like episode 3 so much? Because it made me fall in love with Palpatine as a villain. It made me fall in love with him as a bad guy. Because the entire way through that prequel trilogy, he's just pulling strings. He's pulling strings the entire way. And then at the end, towards what, I guess midway, last third of the movie, it all comes full circle, and you're like, holy shit, this dude is fucking evil. He is so evil. I loved it. I loved episode 3. I think that's Melwer's favorite one, period, is episode 3.
There you go. See? Now, I mean, I still think I don't know where. I think 3 ends up being number 4 for me.
See, 3 is
behind the
3 for
original?
me. 653. 653.
653. Okay, so you like Jedi more than Empire. Okay.
I do, yes.
Because I think mine's 5463, and then
Okay.
the middle
And see,
ground.
I like Jedi better than Empire because we see Luke's. I mean, throughout all the movies, we see uh, um, his growth, his progression, right? In episode 4, he was just a whiny little baby. I'm trying to censor myself. He was a whiny little baby. Episode 5, a little more mature. Episode 6, it's like, okay, dude, you're running shit now. Like you've got the 3 C's. You're in charge. You got a game plan. I really liked how they progress his character throughout the original trilogy.
No, I like it too. I like it too. I love Empire. I think it's because I love the lore behind, beyond into the Force and stuff. And Yoda explains it all, and I love that stuff.
One of my favorite lines in Empire, in all the movies actually, is when Han's getting ready to go on the Tauntaun after Luke, and the guy tells him, "You won't make it past the first marker before you freeze to death." Something like that.
I'll see you in hell.
I'll see you in hell. It just rides on. I'm like, yes, it's so unnecessarily aggressive, and I love it.
I just love that movie. That movie's it's just really good.
Second best sword fight is Anakin slaying younglings, and we didn't even get to see it.
Yeah.
That part was so good though that when he turned his lightsaber on, the way that kid flinched.
Yeah.
That was one of those like, oh damn kind of moments. Like this.
Oh
shit,
damn!
Yeah. Oh damn!
Now, okay, so here's a segue. I don't think you're supposed to announce the segue in professional, like if you're doing a professional show. But
right, this is us. So
yeah. So Disney bought Lucasfilm for $4.025 billion.
Right.
Microsoft just bought ZeniMax for $7.5 billion.
A fuckload of money.
$7.5 billion. So almost twice what Disney paid for Lucasfilm.
Right.
So how do you think that's going to go? Because I've thought about this a lot, and I'm like I said, I'm not the gaming.
Right. So
guy,
I made a video on this.
Right. And I'll watch it.
So ZeniMax Media, they own id Software, they own Bethesda, they own a whole slew of like AAA games right now. Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Rage, Wolfenstein, Quake, Doom. They own all these like big heavy hitter companies and IPs now. I think so. What I think they're gonna do, I don't think is the right play. I think they're gonna eventually make all those exclusive for Xbox, and I don't think that's smart. I think that they're going to cut out a huge portion of profits if they do that, because you've got people like, look, I'm going to be honest, like none of those titles make me even want to go buy an Xbox. I don't care about any of those enough for me to be like, oh shit, okay. Now, if God of War or Uncharted weren't part of that deal, then I'm going, I can only play this on Xbox now potentially. I might have to go pick one up now. This acquisition will sway people to go buy an Xbox over a PlayStation. That will happen. There's a lot of people who are on the fence. There's a lot of people who are in a position to where they can only get one, at least right away. So which one are you going to get? These are big major titles. Now I know Doom and Quake is mainly PC, but it still is released on consoles. Yeah. It's still released on consoles.
Doom Eternal did really well.
Right. You can't take the console sales on big PC games like that and ignore them. You can't do that. Microsoft should know this better than anyone. The money is in software. The money's not in the hardware.
Right.
You know what I mean? But you're going to have a lot of people who, like me, I'm a PlayStation fanboy. I like riding the Sony pony. Okay. I'm not going to go buy an Xbox. There's very few reasons why I would go buy an Xbox. And none of them have anything to do with Bethesda or id Software or any of those other companies. None of my reasons for buying one have anything to do with that. Like I said, they would have to get a hold of God of War and Uncharted, probably both, for me to go, all right, I got to get one. And there's a lot of people like me who aren't going to jump ship and aren't going to run out and go buy an Xbox just because of this. There's a lot of people that will.
Yeah.
And I understand that. But you can't lose your customers. You can't lose your customer base. Because for every game that doesn't sell because it's not on PlayStation 4 or it's not on the Switch, that's money lost. That's money not earned. And
well, see, I think
it's all about money.
Right. And I think it's weird because the more that I think about it, I think that Microsoft sees Switch as like a different thing altogether. And that's why Ori came out. That's why, you know what I mean? They've been really buddy-buddy lately, which is really strange.
Right.
So I almost think that
Sony and Microsoft don't like each other.
Right.
They don't have that working relationship that Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo have right now.
But see, I think that it's not like before that announcement, I kind of thought, you know what? Microsoft is doing something kind of smart. They're really playing up Game Pass. Because Game Pass is a lot of value for if you don't have you don't have the money to spend on a game. Right? If you don't have the $60, $70, however much next generation is going to be, depending on the title.
You're still spending $30 a month. And here's the other thing too. Game Pass has been out for 3 years. People are talking about this like it's brand new. And I'm like, what is going on here? This is not a new thing. And then someone asked me the other day, do you think Sony can compete with that? Well, they already are. They have their own version of where you can rent games. So yes, I do. Microsoft isn't doing anything new with Game Pass. It's an old thing. They're just now pushing it more. People are just now hearing about it more.
Yeah, but to be able to go get you, especially budget minded, right?
Okay.
You can go get yourself an Xbox Series S for $25 a month, and it gives you 2 years of Game Pass. I mean, that's a hell of a bargain. And you don't have to buy. Basically, you could not ever buy a game and just do Game Pass.
I don't think it's dumb.
Well,
I just don't see what all the excitement's about.
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. Before that announcement, I thought, oh, okay, so they're really paying. They're really saying, okay, you've got a lot of value, doing it that way. Even if you get the Series X, right, which is $35 a month, okay, there's still value in the fact that you're getting to play these games. You're just downloading. You don't own them really. You're just they're on Game Pass.
Sure.
And then they made this announcement. It kind of made me sit back and go, are they really going to make all of those exclusives? Because there's a part of me that thinks that they're not. Just like what you said, that you could be leaving money on the table, they've got to be going, you know what? It really doesn't matter. As long as we've got our Game Pass subscribers, we're good. And anything we make out off of PS5 is just cake. It's just it's extra.
That's the way they should think of it. That's how it should be thought of. But I just don't know, because the thing is, you want something the other one doesn't have to bring people to you, to get people sitting at your table eating. So I absolutely, and right now, he said, so I saw an interview with, what's the guy's name? Phil, what is his last name? Something or other. That basically,
Spencer?
Phil Spencer, yes. He's top dog with Xbox. And they asked, well, what are you guys going to do with all this now? And they said, we're going to leave it alone. We're going to let them keep doing what they do because they know what they're doing. We're not going to mess with it. I think that's smart. Then he was asked straight up, what about these games releasing on other consoles? And he sidestepped the question, hugely sidestepped the question. He did say, well, there's a couple of games that what these studios have deals with Sony. There's a couple games that are coming out Sony exclusive. Those are going to stay. He said those games will stay what they were going to do.
Right.
He said nothing about anything going forward. So
think about their marketing though. They could say sure, you could buy Elder Scrolls 7 or whatever they're on, 6, 7, whatever version it is. You could buy that for $60 on PS5, or for $35 a month, you get Elder Scrolls 6 plus all of these other games that you can play. You know what I mean?
Here's the thing,
I can see the marketing already.
Right. But if you have half a brain, that's not fair of me to say. If you think like I think, okay?
Right.
$35 and you get to play Elder Scrolls. $35 a month. I can buy it one time at 60 or 70 and not have to pay 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 30. You see what I'm saying?
No, yeah.
To me, now I understand you get other games with that as well. I'm not
ton.
stupid. I absolutely see the value in that. But that's how I would break it down. Because all these other games that I can play and I have access to, what if I don't give a shit about those games? Now I'm spending $35 a month to play what, 5-10 games?
Right.
No, like to me that's wasted money.
I know. I totally get that. I totally get it. It's like, it's almost like trying to talk to somebody like a young, let's say a 22-year-old right now.
Mm-hmm.
The way they're going to market it is they're not going to explain that. They're not going to say, hey, you pay $35 for the next 2 years. They're just going to say, hey, for $35 a month, you get all this. They're going to go, well, shit, yeah, let's do it. How many 22-year-olds get into credit card debt because they don't understand what it all means?
I know.
So I feel like that's what's they're gonna play that card now.
So let me I'm not 100% sure on a few of the details here. So this 35 a month or 25, whichever version of the Xbox you get.
Right.
You're basically, is that like a phone? Like you're leasing your phone till it's paid off, then you own it kind of thing?
Yeah.
It is.
But it comes with Game Pass. Right.
Right. That's actually fucking genius.
It's
really
super
is.
Genius.
Because now
it's the same price.
See, now I'm seeing value in this, right? Now I'm like, okay, for $35 a month, I'm paying off my console
Bucho.
and getting to play it. I got it on layaway, but I'm still getting to play it.
Right.
That is the genius part to me.
Because there's no interest.
Game Pass in itself. So there's no interest. So you make your, I guess, 2 years of payments and it's paid off, right?
Yeah, but this is the thing that I was talking to my brother about it, and he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about doing that. And I said, well, think about this. But you saw Bucho's comment?
Yeah, 20-year-olds are so dumb.
Yeah. But it's like I said, yeah, things are going well, whatever. But what if you lose your job? What happens to the I bet you there's some sort of fine print that says if you miss a payment, all the interest is accrued. Right. You know what I mean?
But what if you miss a payment? Is Microsoft gonna send like thugs after you? Hey, give us some money or give us the console.
I feel like we're already living in mafia times with our political system, so who knows?
Dude, right? But but that's actually a really valid question, though.
Yeah. What happens if you miss a payment?
And what if you get it and you're like, suckers, I'm not paying on this.
They shut off Game Pass.
Okay, so what? You shut off Game Pass. You just go and buy the online service.
But you've got a Series S.
What does that mean?
No disc.
No disc, right?
So you've got a brick, basically. It's
until you turn it on yourself.
What do you mean if you turn it on yourself?
Well, if you just say, sucker, later, I'm never buying this, and then you hook it up at a later date for online service, in theory it should work. Or is there going to be some kind of lockout in it?
There's probably going to be. I don't know, dude. I'm guessing.
You know what I'm saying? Are they going to low jack it? Like, what are you going to do? What if someone moves? Someone moves and just says, I'm not paying for it. You know what this is an example of? This is an example of you get those CDs, right? 20 CDs for 5 cents a piece or something like that. And the fine print, you're forever paying on it. Then you stop paying it. And they start sending you letters and whatnot and threatening to put it on your credit and all that kind of crap. It's the same thing. It's just something way more expensive than CDs. That's all it is. But that's a great question. What's going to happen?
So Xbox is the Columbia House of gaming systems.
Columbia House.
No, it is kind of an interesting thing though. Like what happens? Because you gotta know there's people out there that are thinking that right now.
Exactly.
I'm just gonna sign up for it for 1 month, and then cancel it. And I've got the system.
Yeah, dude. Not only that, look, people are scumbags. So right now, like you said, someone is going, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna have 5 of my friends do it too. And then we're going to cancel it. And for $35, I have 5 Xboxes. Now let me go and sell these for $300 a pop. What happens in that kind of situation? It's stolen merchandise. What happens in that kind of situation? What happens if some sap goes, man, $300, that's a pretty good price. Let me buy that.
Right.
This thing just came out. I can't get a hold of one. They go to hook it up,
And it does
and
nothing.
something flags. You know what I mean? And like that's a bad situation. I don't know if that's been thought of. I don't know if there's a plan in play for something like that. If there is, I want to know what it is. That is an interesting. That's interesting.
Hey,
Are they going to run a credit check?
I don't know. And
I
that's
mean,
the thing. It's supposed to be done
about
in Walmart, Best Buy, Target. So it literally is almost like a cell phone contract.
So they're probably going to run a credit check.
Right. In which case, you don't pay it, they're going to find you.
Well, they're going to put it on your credit. And that, if you got good credit, you're not going to do something like that.
Yeah.
Especially if it's going to go on your credit, you're not going to steal it, right? Obviously. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. They're going to write your credit.
They've got to. Now we start talking it out, it's like, okay, they've got to do that. They've got to. If they don't, they're just opening themselves up. Yeah.
I don't
know.
While I think that's actually a really genius idea to basically, here's this Xbox, pay us over time. I think that is a phenomenal idea. I don't see myself going and having my credit ran for a stupid video game console.
But they don't think, that's what I'm saying. These
22-year-olds.
These dumbass 22-year-olds. No, you know what I mean? They won't care. They'll be like,
you know what though?
Do what you got to do. I want to play,
See,
whatever.
Here's the thing though. I'm way more financially stable now than I was at 22. So I don't necessarily need credit ran on something like that. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm trying to put myself back in my 22-year-old dumb self, but I'm 41. So it's, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't. Well, I think by 22, I already had my first credit card, and I think it was already maxed out. So,
yeah,
I might have said, yeah, screw it. But then again, I don't know. Who knows?
Same. So I think that, that's a very long version of, I think Microsoft should do nothing different. They should allow all these games and all these IPs to go on just like they were doing, because all they're going to do at this point is just rake in the benefits, rake in all the rewards from it.
Right.
I don't think, dude, because this is what's funny. So like my son, who's 13, he likes Fallout, loves Fallout actually. Probably one of his favorite franchises is Fallout. And when I made that video talking about it, he was in the same room with me. And I got done and he was like, Dad, Fallout might only be on Xbox. And I'm like, that sucks. I'll buy you one and you can have it at your house.
Yeah.
I'm not buying an Xbox for me. It's not happening. I'll buy one for him. It's a birthday gift. It's actually really great because, what do you get the kid who has everything? It's hard. So now, birthday and Christmas, I got PS5 and then a new Xbox. So, lucky me.
So you've already got your PS5 ready to go. You've got your pre-order in.
Yes.
You're not buying an Xbox.
No.
So you're good. You've got your plan.
Yeah.
And
I pre-ordered PS5. I pre-ordered another controller, second controller, and the Spider-Man. So no, I'm good.
See, like for me, and I said this the other day, and I felt like I was gonna, people were gonna yell at me, but I just don't. There's no games right now that I'm like super excited for, and
I understand.
And I know now I want to play Miles Morales, but I don't need to play it day one. I don't really care.
Right? No, I feel you on that.
And then.
So sorry to cut you off, but
No,
there's not a whole lot of launch titles now for PS5, and of the ones, that definitely seems like the best one. Did you play the Spider-Man game on PS4?
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Yeah,
it's pretty badass actually.
Yeah,
I expect nothing less from this new Spider-Man. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
All I was gonna say is I want to play Ratchet and Clank. That's not gonna be out for a while. I don't know when. They said the launch window. What does that mean? That could be 6 months. The first 6 months of the console.
Could be. I can't. I mean, I think a launch window would be 60 days. That's what I would put it at.
Either way, there's probably going to be more, and I'll probably be able to get one because I had it in my cart. I was ready to do it, and I just didn't do it. I was just like, because April doesn't want it. You
So
know?
you had a chance. You changed your mind.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And it was literally because, you know, I mean, let's face it, technically I'm unemployed.
I
And
mean,
I don't want to pay a $500 system that. Now here's the kicker for me is like I like some of the Xbox games, sure. But November 20th, man, Hyrule Warriors, I'm pumped for it. That's what I want.
and you
And I
already have a
know that's what I'm
Switch?
going to do. I would get the PlayStation and be like, "Oh, this is so awesome." And then I'd play Hyrule Warriors for 100 hours.
Right. So you already have a Switch then.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Well, then you're ready to go. You're ready to rock and roll. You have a plan. So forget about it, right?
Well, I know, but I'm just saying it's like that's what kept sticking in my head is cuz I know me, I know what happens. Right. And I know when a new Zelda game comes out, I have to play it and I have to get sucked into it.
Hang on. That's a loose definition of a Zelda
well,
game.
Right.
Warriors.
No, I get that. And that's here's the other thing. And Leon and I were talking about this earlier too. Is I've never played any of the Warriors type games. So I don't even know if it's going to be my thing, but I know that the story is there and I'm excited about that. So I'll probably play through it even if I don't like it.
Well, go get the first one. First one's out. It's been out.
Yeah, but it's another $60.
Not if you get a used one.
Well, yeah. I can get like a $40. I don't know. Is it good? You don't like them?
I personally don't like them, but it's Dynasty Warriors with Zelda skin. That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like I understand the appeal. It's just not really for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're basically fighting off hordes of enemies. And okay, cool. But like that's it. That's all you do. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Video games in general are extremely repetitive. Whether you're playing football, you're playing baseball, you're playing something like that. But it's like, okay, I'm just gonna hack and slash these guys, and I'm out.
And it's weird how like just talking about like just video game development, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. Is like I think it was somebody who was, and this is I'm pulling this out of my ass. I don't even know. But it's a guy that was working on, I think, the original Halo. And he said if you really think about it, every game is just the same actions, the same cool action more than once. So my job is to give you a cool action to do that's fun to do. Then I mix it up and I make that really awesome. And then I go back. And if you think about that first Halo is shoot, tank. What's the flying things? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? It's like you had all of these different, the Warthog, you know what I mean? All of these things. And it was very finely crafted to be like, I'm going to give you this cool action to do, and then I'm going to give you this different cool action, then I'm going to take you back to this, then you get to go to this new one, and I'm like, man, that's really kind of amazing when you say it that way, you know? It just kind of makes you think.
It's like I just said, every game you play, you're doing the same thing over and over and over again.
Right.
It's just how much fun are you having doing that? Like, I can sit here for hours and play the show, baseball, but I love baseball. You know what I mean? I'm invested in this game. I've got my character. I've got my stats built up. I've got my career numbers going and this and that, blah, 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 blah. But it's the same thing every time. I go up to the plate. I get on base. I steal a base. I steal third. It's the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. It's just done in a different stadium every 3 days.
So so basically what you're saying is the Warrior series, you don't like the repetitive... That whatever that action is, you don't like it.
Yes. Yeah, I'm good with not doing it. Okay. Basically.
See, that makes me scared to even spend $40.
But that's my taste. That's my personal. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
Yeah, I mean, you're excited
about the new one, and it's going to be the same thing.
Right.
So I mean, same thing as the one before it. So go get the cheaper one, and if you like it, keep it. If you don't, then you know not to get the second one. Trade down back in.
I've already pre-ordered it.
Well, you can cancel that.
Right. No, I know. I don't know. I just think that it's one of those things where this whole... I feel like we're in this weird era with gaming where there's really not these huge jumps that we used to have.
I agree.
So it's really just... Like, for example, the new Call of Duty. That trailer for the new Call of Duty looked awesome. But then you're kind of like, yeah, but that's just, you know, it's almost like a quick time event where you have to hit a certain button at a certain time. It's like, yeah, that stuff is cool.
It's cutscenes.
Well, no, I think there was some interactivity in that. Almost like Uncharted.
There was actual gameplay.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen it, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's cool. But it's also like, but this is really the same game we've been playing for how many years now?
Shit. Let's see here. A lot.
It's it's the same game with a different skin. So it's kind of like, it's weird because I think that's what I love about Nintendo is sometimes they come out with some weird, crazy crap, you know, like the Labo and all that kind of crazy stuff. But some of it is really well thought out. The Mario RC car, you play it on the Switch and you're actually racing around in your house. You know, that whole thing. Yeah. It's cool.
Dude, the Labo was like, oh my God. I spent more time putting that backpack together than actually playing it. It was a nice, cute little, oh, look at me. Look what we're doing. We're doing something different, thinking outside the box. And you just keep thinking inside the box.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, that Mario Kart thing, right?
I know. Yeah.
Where it's like the augmented reality type thing where you basically set up a course in your house.
Okay, no, actually I haven't seen that one.
It's just a neat idea. You got an RC Mario car, and to control it, you're playing it on the Switch. So you're playing a game, and you can race two people and hit them with shells and stuff, and the car will spin out, but it's actually spinning out on the floor.
Okay, while that's cool,
right?
It's a novelty,
right?
It's not going to be any kind of future. It's not even. I mean, it's going to sell because it's Nintendo, and that's what Nintendo does.
And Mario,
right. They sell. That's what they do, right? But it's going to be forgotten about. It's going to get someone's going to step on it. You know, parents going to walk over it, trip over it, get mad and toss it. Dog's going to chew it up. It's not going to, like, if I buy one, I don't open it, honestly. Like, I got Labo stuff still sealed that I've never even opened. So,
yeah, it's a weird thing, but I guess my point is Nintendo seems to be the one that's going for the experience versus the new hot and flashy 4K 60 frames.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, okay, they're trying to with a lot of this stuff. Again, it's nice little novelty stuff, but you're trying to reinvent the wheel. Like, that's not going to be the way people game in the future. It's not going to happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? People don't want to do all that shit to set up. I could see people going, man, I remember that Labo. Nope, I'm good. Took me forever just to get that stuff put together, and it was a pain in the ass. I mean, like, I think it's neat. I'd like to see someone do it. I don't want to do it myself.
Well, it's weird, though.
I don't want to have to jump through hoops to play. I want to sit down, pick up a controller, and go.
No, I get you. But it's like, I guess my point is, like, I feel like in a lot of ways, the big gaming studios are just putting out the sequels. And then Nintendo's over here, they come out with a new Zelda game. It's completely different than the last one. And then that one was completely different than the last one. And that one was completely different than the last one. They're trying to innovate in a way, gameplay.
Sure.
And it seems like all the big studios are doing this. Let's just recopy the thing that we did last time and put a new skin on it.
You're not wrong.
Am I wrong? Yeah. I feel like that's a lot of what we're seeing. But
it sells.
No, I know.
Dude, it's like, take Madden. Motherfuckers are paying $60 a year for a roster update. It's a roster update, dude. That's all it is.
Right.
But EA is smart, and they know that. They know people are going to do it, and this is why they don't do updates. You know what I mean? That's why they don't do it. Because if your favorite quarterback is now on a different team, guess what? You want to use that guy on that team, you got to have the new Madden.
Right.
It's genius.
I was just thinking about how, like, it seems to be the outside the box stuff that really seems to catch on and starts blowing up, like Fall Guys.
I'm sorry, say it again.
Like Fall Guys.
Okay.
Is one of those games that's just, you could probably play it on a GameCube. It's not very graphically intensive, but the gameplay was so interesting to people I mean, look, I know the game is what it is, but there's a reason what I'm saying is that it's giving people something new and different than anything they'd ever done before.
And it was free. You got to keep that in mind. It was free. So people are gonna download free shit. It's just a thing because
shovelware type.
Fall Guys is good for like 7.5 minutes, and then you're like, all right, I'm good. It's a very flawed game in my opinion, and maybe I'm being too overly critical, and it's not because it's a cute, hokey, cartoony. No, I got no issue with that. That's probably the best thing about it. But sometimes the physics in the game, like the dude falls over. This little dumpy fuck. You jump, someone bumps you, he falls over. You jump through a wall, he falls over. Dude, you might take a jelly bean and stand it up and just let it go. And that's Fall Guys. He falls all the damn time. Maybe that's why it's called Fall Guys. Another thing, the jumping a lot of times was unresponsive, and that's annoying. That's annoying. That costs you your place. That costs you finishing a race and qualifying. It's so effing annoying. And the other thing is the maps don't rotate enough. Right. I saw the same 3 or 4 maps over and over and over and over and over and over again. And there were some maps where I played one time. I'm sure there's maps I hadn't even seen yet. They don't rotate enough.
It's weird though, because it's like it seems to be something that people are still hold on a second. Like they're still going nuts over it.
Well, look what Leon just said. Bought PSN for the first time ever so I could play that game. Played it for an hour, not touched it since. I deleted it off my PlayStation. I'm like, I'm good. I'm out. Like maybe if they fix those things that I'm nitpicking on, but those are big things in the game that make the game frustrating and make me not want to play. Your dude shouldn't be falling over like that every single fucking time you step on something. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, I can be on my couch and fart and the motherfucker will fall. It's ridiculous. And the jumping, when you jump, he doesn't jump. So you fall into the abyss. It's ridiculous, dude. You don't jump, so you get hit by that spinny thing, you know what I mean? Like you're on that platform. It's annoying. You know what else? I wish I can go all day. I'm picking this game apart, right? They need to be able to have private rooms so you can invite just you and yours. You know what I'm saying? Instead of all these idiots online who can't play for fuck. Man, I swear to God.
Oh, the team sport ones.
Well, not only that, but like that too. But the ones with the seesaw deals.
They don't understand physics.
Exactly. Dude, it's basic like weights and measures here. If everyone is loading up this end, guess what's going to happen? You idiots, morons. God, people online are just absolute dumbest. Just
I don't know.
Stuff like that makes that game super, super, super irritating and made me like I wanted if it was an actual disc, I would have taken it out and broke the motherfucker. I'm glad it was free because I'd have been pissed off if I paid money for that. Just saying.
It's weird though because it's like, why does a game like that? I mean, like, I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's free, but it still was like, why? I don't understand it. Now, like a game like PUBG, you know, where it was not PUBG, Fortnite was free. Right. I can understand that because there was a competitive element to it and all that kind of stuff. It's like people online are all 22-year-olds.
They're all 20. Damn right. Well, see, with Fortnite, they microtransaction the shit out of you. So they're gonna go, here's this free game. You know how much motherfucking money I gave my son for fucking Fortnite, for skins, for I'm like,
and that's all it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't make you play better.
No. Dude, I swear it was like it got to a point where every 3 days, Dad, can I have $10? Why? Fortnite, really? I give it to him. You know, can I have $10? Can I have $15? Finally, I was like, yo, I'm giving you all this money. I ain't getting anything out of it. You need to start doing chores or something around the house. You're going to start earning this money. So that's what I did. At my house and his mom's. Because it was just like every time I turned around, his hand was in my wallet. Not literally, because he knows I'd knock the shit out of him, but no. But that was actually super smart on their end, because like I said, you get this free game, and this kid spent easy $300 on bullshit.
There's a guy that he every now and then he'll show up and watch a show. I don't think he's here tonight, but that I worked with, before the movie, right? Mm-hmm. That place. Anyway, he was into CS:GO.
Okay.
And he would spend some money, and it was just skins for his guns and skins for his, and it's like, and I'm like, but why? And he's like, it's a status thing, especially when you're in these clans with people and you're playing with people. People look at you different. They treat you different. They don't want you. And I'm like,
because you have money to spend. See, 22-year-olds are dumb.
Oh my gosh! And
this guy was king of the 22-year-olds.
This guy was much older.
I know, but
it was weird though.
Like that's dumb.
It's so weird.
I don't have I kind of have an issue with microtransactions. It's like, dude, they already bought your game, and now you're gonna nickel and dime them to death. Like, that bothers me. It bothers me even more if there's no way to earn the stuff in game. If there's a way to earn stuff in game, I'm good. I'll grind. You know what I'm saying? I will earn the cash, earn the points, earn the whatever I got to do to earn that particular item that I'm looking for. If there's a way to earn it in game, I'm a little more okay with, well, here's an option if you don't want to grind, and you don't want to do this, and you know what I mean? GTA, they had shark cards, and they had different denominations on there you could buy. And in GTA, everything is super expensive. You earn a lot of money doing the things you do, but it's like, it's like, so like, if I want a car that's $5 million, I have my MC, and I have my businesses, and I sell my products, and I have my CEO thing already going, and I sell my products. I've earned that money already. I can go, all right, here you go. The easy way, well, buy this shark card.
Right.
And we got $50 million. Here you go. So I don't know.
It's weird though, because it's like, there was a lot of talk on this because back when, however many years ago, 3 years ago, when Battlefront 2 came out, all the microtransactions for that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And what's weird is I feel like they went the other way. They made all the hardcore players really happy because you had to earn the cards that basically give you little buffs and things like that. You had to earn that in game. The problem is, if you try to play that game now, and you're a casual person coming in there, you're going to get your walking simulator, and then you run back to the battle, you're dead. Run back, respawn, run back to the dead. It's a constant
because
thing.
Everyone's powered up.
Right, everyone's powered up, and you've been playing for 10 minutes, and it's like, I can't compete with that.
Right.
And it's so weird because there's no good for somebody like that. I could understand why you'd want to add something in to pay to get to that point.
Sure, but
that's not what happened at the beginning. There were rich people buying up all the stuff and then slaughtering all the actual good players. Gotcha. So that's why the big thing with Battlefront 2 happened.
Okay. See, I just look, make the free option available, and don't make it ridiculous. Like Leon is saying, you could earn stuff in game, but it took like 200 hours to unlock anything like that. That's ridiculous. Like that is a ridiculous thing. You're basically going, yeah, you can earn it in game. It's going to take you a lifetime, but you can do it. The option's there. Save some time though, and just come spend your money.
See, I think it's just there's no way to win with that kind of stuff.
Those are dirty tactics.
Yeah, there's no real way to win though. I mean, either way they do it, somebody's going to be upset.
Right.
There's gonna be really, really good players that right off the bat buy all the overpowered stuff and slaughter everybody.
Right.
Even some other good players. But then if you do it the other way, where you have to earn it all in game, then no casuals will ever pick up the game because there's no way for them to win at all, because they don't have the buffs.
The only thing would be
I tried to grind that game. I can't. It pissed me off so bad because it was.
Then the problem is this. Then the problem is that your power ups or whatever that you're buying or earning or whatever are too powerful.
Right.
So you need to bring that down a little bit.
Right. The first Battlefront was that way, and it actually, I think the first Battlefront was better, but
right. I like
cares.
Battlefront.
Nobody cares about. Well, not many people care about Battlefront anymore. Some people do. Some people still love that game, but
right.
I can't get into it because I don't want
to. It was like, yeah,
dude. The first game
Call
was
of Duty
awesome.
with Star Wars is all it was.
The first game was so good.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. I mean, taking down, I don't know, just taking down AT-ATs and stuff by yourself.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh yeah, no. It was definitely fun, but I don't know. Are you even going to try to play that Squadrons game, the new one, the flying one? I think it comes out next month sometime. Next month? I don't know. What's it about?
It's basically the whole game is flying. Okay. I mean, it's kind of like I think it's going to be like almost like a Battlefront, but there's, levels of, I don't know. I just know it. All I can say is I saw the trailer and I was like, oh man, that looks good. And then kind of forgot about it.
Okay.
But I was just curious if do you even like flying games?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
There's no third person. It's all in cockpit. I know that.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I don't like that. If I'm flying, I prefer that third person view. I prefer third person anyways.
But you can do one of the things that, like, at least for me, because I'm like, I do like some of the flying stuff.
Uh-huh.
One of the things that they do, like in all the games, all the flying games, it flies like an earth plane, where when you turn, you bank and do all this stuff. With this one, you can do kind of like what Poe did in episode 8 at the very beginning, where he does the brake and kind of, because with inertia in space, there's no friction. So you can you can turn up your shields on the front or shields on the back, all that kind of stuff. And that's what's kind of cool about this one, but I don't know enough about it to be like, oh, I can't wait to play it. I don't know. But Bucho's always like,
yeah, we're laughing at the same thing.
Top 3 Star Wars ships. I don't even know. X-Wing's got to be number 1 for me.
X-Wings are good. Does Jabba's sand barge count as a ship? It's off the ground. No, I'm joking.
It's a vehicle.
Do what?
It's a vehicle.
It is a vehicle. It's no, that's not in my top. I mean, it's kind of neat. You got a floating house, right? But floating partay bus.
Yeah, and you can watch somebody be tortured and killed.
Yeah.
Without leaving your plinth or whatever that's called. I don't know what you call that thing. But no, I don't know.
It was. You know what? I like the snow speeders. Like the kind of triangular.
Oh no, I know what you mean.
Yeah. X-Wing. Yeah. What about the see, I don't know if this counts. This is a gray area, maybe. The speed bikes.
Speeder bikes? Yeah, it's a vehicle. Maybe
you said ships.
Yeah, so maybe you should say yeah.
So I don't think that one counts.
TIE Interceptor. That kind of stuff. I really like those at the beginning of episode 3.
Vader's TIE Fighter is pretty dope.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the weird almost TIE Fighter, or not TIE Fighter, kind of like the early X-Wing in episode 3, the ARC 170s.
Yes.
Those are cool looking because they almost look like an A10 to me.
Yeah.
They're just cool looking. But
Star Wars ships.
Yeah, that's Bucho. Yeah, Bucho will for sure.
I've never thought about that.
Space horses. Is Space horses in 9? Is that a vehicle?
Space.
Oh, I forgot about the space horses.
Space horses.
Now there was something else because we were just talking about. Oh, we were talking about squadrons. I don't know. So so really what it sounds like is that at the beginning you're gonna have the Miles Morales game, and then you're just set for whatever comes next.
Basically, yes.
Yeah.
That's pretty much where like I mean, hell, even at that point, unless it's coming out on PS4 and 5 simultaneously, I'm probably still buying PS4 games.
Which it sounds like it is. Like a lot of the.
It should be in theory. I know that there's a new. I think Little Big Planet is going to be a launch title as well. A new Little Big Planet. Um, there's like 4 or 5 games coming out at launch, but that's not. I don't want a PlayStation based on launch titles. That's never
Right.
gotten. You know what I mean? That's never been like, hey, look what we're doing. Would it be nice if certain things did come out at launch? Absolutely. But what can you do?
It's almost like it's kind of like when a sequel gets greenlit and they just say it's coming out holiday 2021. Can we make that? I don't know. It's just a date we picked. It's almost like that's what they did with these, because it seems like a lot of the games are kind of half cooked and not completely ready. You know, Halo had to be.
Well, you got to understand.
Or do you think the pandemic really had that much to do with it?
I don't. No, I don't. No, because any kind of game coding can be done from home. Period. Bottom line, it can be.
I feel like when they released that little trailer and people gave them crap for it, they were like, "Yeah,
oh, which one? Halo?
Yeah."
Well, Halo just sucks. But you got to understand something too, though. A lot of these games that people want, like I know people would love, and I would love GTA 6 at launch. That'd be amazing to have GTA 6, right? I just want GTA 6, period. But that's up to Rockstar. That's not up to Sony.
Right.
You know what I mean? Give me another Uncharted. Give me Uncharted 5. That'd be great launch title. Well, that's up to Naughty Dog. That's not up to Sony. You know what I mean? Like, it's out of people's hands.
Do you think that what could they do for that though? Because it seems like they kind of said Uncharted 4 is, Nathan Drake is done.
It ain't done. The franchise makes too much money. It makes way too much money. I could see maybe a flash forward in 5, where it's the daughter, and you're following her now. Maybe Drake makes a cameo in it. He's old. He's older. I love
that series so much.
I do too. And they're not gonna. Dude, 4 was shit, man. 4 was pretty close to perfect as you can get to a video game. 4 was just like, dude, I got this thing where when I play video games, a lot of times I play with the volume down, and if I love the PlayStation 4 controller because you can hook up a mic underneath, right? Or a headset. You can hook up a headset and it gives you all of the audio. So sometimes I'll plug the headphones and I'll put it on, and it's like I want to equate it to like someone hearing for the first time, or seeing color for the first time, or something like that with some special glasses or something. It's like, holy hell, the sound in this game is just amazing. Like, it's just crazy. The ambiance, the stuff in the forest and all that kind of stuff going on. It's just like, whoa, this is like, damn. Uncharted 4 was just great.
It was an amazing game, yeah. And that's another thing that I'm really excited about the PS5, and I keep forgetting about it, is that they're talking about their new headphones are like even more spatial than anything that's come before. Because like basically what they're doing is there's really, it's like a line. You've got the left, screen left, the left-hand side and the right-hand side, and then you've got center. And what they're doing is kind of cheesing it a little bit to kind of make it sound like it's coming from behind you. They're distorting the audio in a way to make it sound like it's behind you, but it's really kind of off-center.
What's neat about that, though, it's funny you're bringing this up. And Leon asked if Uncharted was done. I'm sure you heard us. We just talked about that. Yeah. I don't think so. I know they said 4 was it, but dude, you can't take something that makes that much money and then go, we're done. We've done what we wanted to do with bullshit. I don't buy it. I guarantee you will see a new Uncharted. Maybe even like maybe they don't call it 5. Maybe it's like, I don't know, something Uncharted something, because I think they can follow the daughter.
They could call it something like Uncharted Drake's, like, you could even call it like Drake's demise, and it's his daughter though.
Something, right? Something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
But going back to, I was playing Red Dead, and I was by a waterfall, and I noticed that depending on what side the waterfall was on, I could hear it more in that ear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I remember I stopped, and I just panned the camera, just turned it, and it was going like louder over here, louder over here, louder over here, louder over here, and I was like, holy hell, that is a really awesome use of headphones and the sound and how they.
But it's even more than that. That's the I think that's the cool thing, because I'm a sound guy, right?
Right.
I love the sound stuff. There is it's just like when you hear a train coming and it does the Doppler effect, right? As it passes, as it goes. Right. The same sort of Doppler effect happens behind you. The sound that comes, that's how you can tell that something is coming from behind you, is because it has a different sound than if it came from the same angle in front of you. It has a different effect. So they're doing that in game design, and it's giving you that effect to make it sound like it's behind you. It's just crazy. A weird, I don't know what it is. I've never done it, but I was watching a video on it and I was like, man, that's really cool. It's really cool that they're doing that. But with the PlayStation 5 headset does it even further, because there's two speakers in the front and two speakers in the back. So it gives you even more separation and even more of a surround sound kind of feeling in headphones.
Interesting.
So I'm really excited about trying those out.
Very interesting.
But Last of Us 2 made a ridiculous amount of money. You think they're going to do a sequel?
You don't? Naughty Dog, or a company that seems to have rare integrity these days. Yeah, but you can have integrity and still make money. I mean, look, Last of Us is a huge franchise. I understand that.
I would love to see them continue that story. I like the story, but
this is what I was saying. If you can continue the story and do it in a way, going back to Uncharted, doing it in a way to where it makes sense, doing it in a way to where you're not pissing off the fans.
You mean like the Star Wars sequels?
Yeah, exactly, right. If you can do it and make it make sense to the consumer and to the audience, then I say nothing wrong with it. Continue. Yeah. I know. Again, Uncharted is supposed to be the last one. I want another one. I want another Uncharted game.
Me too.
I love that franchise. One of my top 5 franchises of all time. Dude.
See, for me, it's like, to me, I think 4 had a lot of the great gameplay that the gameplay elements from 2 I really liked. 3 kind of pissed me off in the middle. I can't remember why, but 3 just didn't sit well with me. But 4 had like the best game elements of 2 with a better story, a story that hit really hard for me.
Dude, the story was amazing. Okay, so now Leon's saying that's what he's saying. They kind of tied both those franchises up in a bow, but they left it open to continue if they wanted to. That's especially in Uncharted. I'm a fanboy of Uncharted. I love Uncharted. I'm okay if we follow the daughter now.
Oh yeah.
If Nathan Drake is not a playable character anymore, cool. Let's just continue this story. Let's continue, because it's so good. The writing is so good. The acting, oh my God, the acting in the movie was great.
Ellie was Drake's daughter.
What was that guy's name? Rafe? That dude was great as a bad dude.
Oh,
he was great.
Yeah. But
only missions.
I don't know about that. He's going, on my back. Like the whole time.
Right.
As he's climbing something.
Look. It goes forward. Nathan Drake is old. He's old. His wife's old, right? The daughter, obviously, she's going to follow in the footsteps, because that's what kids do, especially when they're 22 and dumb, right? So she obviously is going to go on trips with them, go on adventures with them, that kind of stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So it's going to be something she's going to get into as well. It would make sense. Let's flash forward this. Because how old was the girl? 4? Spoiler alert, I guess. How old was the daughter? 4 years old, 5 years old, or something like that?
Oh, I thought she was older than that. I thought she was like 11 or something.
I don't think she was that old. Maybe somewhere in the middle, right? 7, 8. I don't know.
Who knows?
So flash forward at 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Sully's gone. Drake's older. He's made his fortune doing it. He doesn't have that bug anymore for adventure. Or maybe that is part of the story. You're taking over with the girl. She gets in some kind of trouble, and it can switch to where you're playing Nathan, and he's got to come and try to help her out and rescue her. And then once you get her out of whatever she's in, it goes back to the daughter. There's so many things they could do with this.
And
with
then
this
Nathan gets killed, and you have to play as the murderer.
Yes.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. That's one of the big. I don't know. Well, I mean, if you haven't had your head in the sand for the last 6 months, you've heard about all that. Last of Us 2 is. But it's one of those things where I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed that part of it because it was like, oh yeah, it's like in a world like that, there's really no bad guys. I mean, there are bad guys, but some people that you look as bad guys are not really bad guys. They're just
right. I've not played Last of Us yet. I haven't played the first one. I have the first one. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's intense. It's like, okay, so you take Uncharted, almost the gameplay of Uncharted, and you make it in not a pandemic, but in a post-apocalyptic kind of world, and it's much more violent and much more R-rated. Like Uncharted is almost like a PG-13,
right?
Family-friendly kind of action adventure. Take that same kind of gameplay and put it in a really hardcore, violent, post-apocalyptic world.
I just need to play it. I just need to play it. I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've never heard anyone say, Last of Us sucks. I've never heard anyone say that.
Well, I know there's a lot of people that didn't like Last of Us too, so.
But that's not the first one.
Right.
That's not the first.
And plus, Eagle Ford asked earlier about, does anybody play virtual reality? You had said before that you're just not into it.
I'm not.
Not yet.
I play virtual reality. I don't. Again, it's a nice little gimmick. It's fun for about 5 or 10 minutes, and then,
I think
give me my couch.
They keep getting better. Like I have too many headsets now. I had the PSVR, right, and I still have that, and then I got the Oculus Quest.
Okay. And
that one, no wires, right? So you're just kind of completely free and stuff. But the Quest 2, which I'm kind of interested in, they up the processing power, so it looks better, and the screens are better, higher frame rate, because I think that's why a lot of people were getting sick. Is because if you're in a car, like you're riding in a car and you look over, it messes with your head because the frame rate's lower than real life. So it kind of makes it does something to your brain and makes you want to vomit.
Right.
But I don't know. I'm really interested in where that goes, because I've said this countless times, but I remember when I was like in high school, they were talking about pressure suits. You putting like almost like a wetsuit, and you could, like in a horror game, if somebody grabs your arm, you could feel the pressure, and it freaks you out. And it's part of the experience is that you're using all senses, not just, your sight and sound. You're actually experiencing more of this feeling of it.
Right.
That never happened. And then of course, they've been talking about the screens that almost like a lamp, or not lampshade. The shades that, what do you call those?
Shades.
Where you pull it down and it sticks, and then you pull it up, but they were talking about screens like that, where they could fold up. You could have basically a movie theater size screen in your house, but you could fold it up and have art on the walls and all that kind of stuff. And when you wanted to watch a movie, you pull it down, and it was 4K quality in this fold up screen. That still hasn't happened yet. That's still coming.
Right.
So there's just a lot of, I think virtual reality is just not there yet.
It's not, and
Basically.
we're never going to see, in my opinion, virtual reality as the norm in gaming. It's just not going to happen. I personally don't think we'll see it in this lifetime, because it's not the norm now. People are going crazy over all this VR stuff that came out recently, and now no one's talking about it anymore. Yeah. I'm sure people still play it. But you have multiple headsets. What are they doing right now? Collecting dust, right? You're not playing them.
Yeah.
The fact is, you do have too many people that get motion sickness, eye strain, all that stuff. It's a thing. It don't happen to me, but it happens to a lot of people.
Right.
And me personally, I don't want to stand up and move around and play a video game. I want to be this. That's what I want. That's part of why Tony Hawk Ride failed. Because if people want to be on a board, guess what? They're gonna go outside and be on a board.
Right.
Nobody wants to play games like that.
This is the other cool thing that I really
dumb 22-year-olds.
That's why VR is ideal for Sims. Right. Because it's almost like, I don't know if you're being trolly. Bucho, you've been kind of trolly today, so I don't know if that's being real or not. But no, it's in a weird way though. One of the cool things that the new strain of whatever you want, it's not strain. That sounds like it's a disease, but you know what I mean. The new wave of VR headsets, you don't have a controller because there's cameras on the front. You can use your hands for stuff. So you grab something, and you don't have this additional separation between you and the game. You know what I mean? Because you're using your hands naturally, which is like, okay, now that's a cool idea. Like you're walking through a hallway, you got to press a button. You can just press the button. You don't have to have a controller.
But that's not how people want to game. The percentage of people who actually want to play like that as a normal way of playing is minute. Now, for simulators, flight simulators, all that kind of stuff, yeah, VR is great. It is great. But it's been VR. People are already using that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure the military is using that stuff already. NASCAR drivers, they like, the games are so comprehensive these days that they test in actual like makeshift kind of cars,
full screen type.
Yeah, right. And these racers have said, yeah, I sit in, I play this, and it's basically practice before I get there. It's like down to the second, down to the turn. I know that turn's coming. It's realistic. It's real life. I could see it. I could see VR helping a lot in like the medical industry. Possibly, people practicing.
Doing surgeries.
Possibly practicing, surgeries, things like that. New surgeries, new ways of doing things. I could see it helping there. Leon said porn, and while that's like, oh, ha, why not? It could be big in the porn industry. Think about it for a second. Just think about it for a second. I don't need to expand on that. It could be huge in the porn industry.
Yeah.
Just for video games and gaming and sitting at home, sitting on your couch, laying on your bed, it's just not the way, and we're nowhere close. We're nowhere close.
Yeah, but I think I guess that's my thing, is that like I'm interested in the tech and how the tech advances.
Right. Oh yeah, no, yeah, for sure. And again, let me play it for 5 or 10 minutes, and then I'm out. It's
See, my thing is
they already are, so you've heard.
See, my thing is like for VR, well, really for gaming in general, it's like I need to be in a specific mood almost to sit down and say, okay, I'm going to devote 3 hours to whatever. I'm going to have this time, right? Or like the other night, my internet goes off. I don't have a choice. I gotta either play a video game or read a book.
Read.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's dumb.
I know, but
right. Okay, so like you said, you got to be in the mood just to play a game.
Right.
Now you got to get in the second mood.
And I got in a
full load up all this shit on you, right? To dress up like a football player, damn near. And oh, look at me! I'm playing video games. Oh.
That's exactly how I play VR.
I believe it. I believe you do your arms
like. Look at me!
Oh, look at me! I'm driving.
That's what's funny about those old movies where they've got the video screens behind, or the
screen in the body. Yeah,
and that's how they drive
in
the 50s.
Yeah.
Oh, where are we going? It's like nobody drives like that. It's so great.
Oh man, that was awesome.
But yeah,
it's funny because I remember watching those movies as a kid and thinking then, like, I could drive, I can just do that.
it kind of reminds me of those the music videos without the music.
Uh-huh.
You've seen those where it's like,
yes,
David Bowie and Mick Jagger, and all you just hear is the sound of them just tapping on the ground, and they're dancing, but there's no music. It's just funny. But anyway, well, gosh, it's past 7:38, so I don't know if
we can go a little bit longer. What else? This is a good time to segue into.
Well,
I don't have a segue.
I don't honestly mean that we covered all the things that I thought about, but Bucho had brought up UFOs. Have you been paying attention to any of that Joe Rogan stuff lately?
I don't listen to Joe Rogan.
Really?
I don't.
That surprises me. I think you'd gel with him with his view of the world.
You might be right, but I've listened to some things before. Like he had he did interview Steven Tyler. I listened to that one. He's interviewed did he interview Mike Tyson?
Yeah,
maybe?
And he did recently too.
Yeah, I think I've
right before he's in fighting shape, and he said it's weird how you can do an interview with somebody and you know them as a certain way, and then you see him and he's been working out and he's like, this guy could kill me right now.
Right.
And I could do nothing about it.
Dude, Mike Tyson, let's talk about that for a second. His people are going crazy over his training videos, and they should be. He's old, he's 54 and still moving like he's 24. It's ridiculous. Like, the dude is still lightning quick. He's still got that power, and that was like super unique about someone like Mike Tyson. He had speed and power. Usually you don't have both at such a high caliber. Usually, yeah. He was just, man. I love Mike Tyson, man. Growing up watching him fight was just, I love it. I spend a lot of time now, like when I'm just laying in bed, not on Facebook, watching old Mike Tyson fights. Just like I'm watching these fights from a different point of view now because I'm older. I understand the game more, fighting in general. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like I've had my fair share of scuffles over the years, whatever. Mike Tyson, he was a good boxer. A lot of people were like, well, he's not. Even I said this, shit, if you'd have asked me 20 years ago, I would have probably said the same thing everyone else did. He was a puncher, not a boxer. If the match got past the 5th round, he was probably going to be toast, blah, blah, blah. No, he went the distance. A lot of people say Mike Tyson couldn't take a hit. Bullshit. Go watch his first fight with Ruddock. Razor Ruddock. Go watch that fight. Ruddock had this like half a hook, half a uppercut, like left that he threw, and he floored motherfuckers with this. And Tyson took several right on the chin and just kept coming. Mike Tyson could take a punch. Mike Tyson can move. Like his, you know what I mean? His bob and weave game, it's disgusting.
I think. And Bucho is a fan of fighting in general, I think, just like me. It's weird, though, because I just worry about him because he's 54, right? 54? Is that right?
54, I think so.
Yeah, because you can look good in training.
And this,
you know what I mean?
And this is what I've told people too. I'm like, he's still 54. Because people go, oh, I bet he can get back in the ring and go for the title. And I'm like, no, because he's still 54 years old. There's still going to be people younger than him. Their bodies aren't as broke down yet. You know what I mean? And don't get me wrong. Can Tyson step in the ring at like legit and probably win? Some, yeah, probably.
But there's also a chance that
Can he go right to the top and start competing with the top 10 and right now, probably boxing is pretty weak in general, in my opinion. In as far as like when he fought, there was a lot of names. There was a lot of names when he fought, and even after him. Right now, yeah. I think the talent pool is pretty weak when it comes to boxing. Even at the top, Tyson Fury. But I don't think Tyson could beat him right now. Not at 54 years old. Tyson at 20, probably. I'd put Tyson in his prime up against anyone, and probably bet on him, including Ali.
And that's one of the things too, because I mean, we, again, Bucho and I are big UFC fans,
Mhm.
when you watch some of those fights, sometimes it's the thing that somebody didn't even think about doing that ends up ending a fight.
Right.
And it can be, maybe somebody does, throw some combination that just like doesn't really make sense, but it lands hard enough to get him out or to get him damaged enough to where then he's got to change his game. He's damaged. He's got to fight differently. He's got to protect differently. He takes less chances. There's a lot of things that go into it. And of course the whole mental side of it too. But I was always a fan of him back then. And of course I didn't understand a lot. I still don't. I still wouldn't consider myself to be, understanding a lot of boxing stuff.
Right. But yeah, George Foreman won the belt at 45 years old. He did. You're right. But see, what people don't understand though is when you're a professional athlete, you're putting your body through so much more wear and tear than your average Joe. Okay. Yeah. I'm getting up there in age. I'm 41 years old. I can't move like I did when I was 20. I can't. I'm slower. My joints hurt more. I play one softball game on a Friday night and I'm recovering for the next 2 days.
Right.
Back in the day, shit, let's play 3 a day for a week straight. Let's go. I can't do that anymore. And hell, even just being older and being in the gym, like I'm really feeling like joint pain more and more as I get older and I continue to work out and lift weights and stuff like that. Now, Mike Tyson, even though he conditioned for that kind of stuff, he's still 54 years old. He has a whole lot of wear and tear on his body. And like you said, it's different when you're sitting here throwing these combos at someone that's not punching back. It's completely different. I think it's going to be a good fight. I think Tyson beats Jones. Even Jones said, basically, if let's see, I think Roy Jones said, if he doesn't beat me in 5, I think I got him. He goes, but I know he's going to be trying to kill me. He's going to be trying to knock my head off. I got to go 5 or more is what Jones said. They never fought. Their paths never crossed, and they fought at the same time. They boxed at the same time. I heard a rumor that Roy Jones's dad was like, "You're not fighting that man. It's not going to happen. You're not fighting him." I don't know if there's truth to that.
Yeah. When is that? I don't even.
It got pushed to. It's supposed to have been this month. I think it got pushed to November. I think it got pushed to November.
Again, I think you hit that point. I think you hit the 40-year-old mark, and I'm kind of worried about him now. Like I
See, I got to be honest. So like, it's funny because this is not an official fight. So technically speaking,
right.
I know you got to go to the boxing commission just in whatever state you're in, but technically speaking, you don't got to get permission from them to do this. This is not a sanctioned fight. You know what I'm saying? So, they came out and were like, so no head hunting, guys, pull punches, guys. Dude, tell a career fighter that. Tell a career fighter pull punches. You know what I'm saying? If you really want to regulate this boxing commission, here's what you need to do. You need to limit the rounds. If you really want to regulate, what I would do, 8 rounds, make them wear headgear, and give them a little bit heavier gloves than what they're used to. That's the only way you're going to have any real control of this fight. You can't. And a guy like Mike Tyson with a killer mentality.
Come on, that man. Dude. Well, even when he was out of shape, the dude could have destroyed me.
Absolutely.
And it's just like,
absolutely.
The thing is, over the years, I've learned to really appreciate him more. Uh-huh. And I just don't want to see him get hurt. I don't want to see him. Look, Muhammad Ali, dude couldn't talk. Dude couldn't walk. Dude, I mean, I just don't want to see that.
That was Parkinson's with Ali, to be fair. But there is something to be said with an athlete. You put your body through that. Look at wrestlers, man. All the shit wrestlers go through, and these people now are moving around. They're 55, 60 years old. They're dying off. You know what I mean? They move like they're 90. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy. It's a lot of wear and tear on your body. People don't understand that. They just see him punching hard and throwing fast, and yeah, it looks good. but you got to take a lot of things to consideration. Now, the good thing is he's fighting someone that's almost just as old. I think Roy Jones Jr. is like 3 years younger. You know, they're both around the same size-ish. I think Tyson's 5'11", Jones is like 6 foot. It's pretty equal.
Right.
If he was trying to get in the ring and fight the current champ, I'd be super concerned. Absolutely concerned with that right now. But I think it's going to be good.
I hope so.
Conor McGregor now says he's going to fight Manny Pacquiao. Boxing has gone weird. That's just exhibition. That's not real boxing. And the same thing's going to happen that happened with Mayweather. He's going to get gassed after 3 rounds. See, that's not what he's conditioned for. Conor McGregor, you know, is at the top of his game for you know, his weight class, all that other kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean you're conditioned to do something else, like get in a boxing ring.
Right.
Arguably one of the greatest. What is he? Middleweight. I don't even know what.
I have no idea.
Mayweather was, but arguably, you know, one of the greatest in his weight class ever. Arguably, you can't do it. I what happened. I knew was going to happen. I knew it was going to happen. If you take away, Conor McGregor's not trained to box. He's trained to use legs, knees, feet, elbows, all of that, which you cannot use in the boxing ring. You can't take away 95% of someone's arsenal and think for even a second that they're going to be able to compete with someone like Mayweather. You can't do that. It'd be like Mayweather getting in an octagon, which luckily Mayweather's not that stupid.
Right.
It'd be like him getting in an octagon with Conor. Conor would have fucking rolled him up like a boat.
And that's one of those things where I kind of feel like Conor was like, you know what? I'm just going to make a ton of money here. Screw it.
That's all it was.
I can sell this fight on my own.
Yep. That's all it was.
Let's just do it. And
it was comical, dude. Watching a fighter of his caliber, not really knowing what the fuck he was doing, because if you watch it, it's almost laughable. It's laughable his boxing skills, but he's not a boxer. He's not a boxer.
Right.
So I don't know. I knew exactly what was going to happen, and it did. I wasn't surprised by the outcome. I wasn't surprised at all by the outcome.
If he could roundhouse kick him in, that's what made me laugh. Leon.
Yeah. Well, it's like I said, if Mayweather would have gotten an octagon, it would have been a completely different.
It was I can't even remember who it was, but there was a boxer that came over to MMA, and he fought Randy Couture, and Randy Couture just took him down and submitted him, and it was over. Because that guy can't stop a takedown. Are you kidding?
Exactly. He's not trained for that. He's not trained for that.
And that's the weird thing, is that, like, where's the spectacle in that? It's like, I don't need to see if, you know, LeBron James can catch a football and go for a touchdown. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care about this crossover. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm gonna equate this to like Jordan quitting basketball and trying to play baseball. Okay, you take. I mean, I'm not gonna say arguably. You
James Toney, that was it.
Greatest basketball player of all time. Phenomenal at what he did on the court. It doesn't mean you can go do that
right
in other sports, and he proved that. You know, it takes a special kind. I mean, there's not many Bo Jacksons out there.
I was gonna say.
Not many Deion Sanders out there. LeBron. I mean, probably top 10 greatest basketball players of all time. Maybe even top 5. Fuck, I might even put him top 3 behind Jordan and Kobe. What do I think he can do on a football field? Probably not perform like he does on a baskall court.
Right.
You know, it's just
I don't know. It's just, I guess it's just because I'm like, I don't know. Like, stay in your lane.
I know. I get it.
I get the whole idea of I'm a top tier athlete. I should be able to do whatever I want. And then somebody gives them the opportunity. Do you say no? I don't know.
People want to see if they flourish. People want to see if they can be successful going over doing something else. But again, there's not many Bo Jacksons and Deion Sanders out there. There's just not. Both of those guys.
I always forget about Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders was a great two-sport athlete. Played both well too. Bo played both well. A lot of people don't know this, but Danny Ainge played some pro baseball. Danny Ainge was on the Phoenix Suns for a long time. He played for the Mariners. Didn't last very
You're
long.
kidding. I had no idea.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that.
Huh.
Didn't last very long. But then
Huh.
you got guys like Mahomes, who was actually drafted in 2014 by a Major League Baseball team. He was really good at baseball. He chose football. So, but he didn't play baseball at a pro level. We don't know if he could or not.
What was Butterbean for?
Butterbean? Did he do MMA? Is that who he was trying to?
No, I can't remember. Did Butterbean ever do MMA?
I don't know. I don't know if he ever did MMA.
Because it was James Toney is the one that I was thinking about with Randy Couture, but
James Toney. Okay.
Yeah, no, it was
UFC. Okay.
It was not. I mean, it was like there was a lot of drama around that fight, of course.
Yeah.
And then we got in there, and it was like, well, that was interesting.
What do you think about wrestlers trying to jump into MMA? Brock Lesnar, CM Punk. What do you think about that?
I was rooting for CM Punk because I like CM Punk.
Okay.
I think he's just a, I don't know. I like him.
How did he do?
No, he didn't do well. He didn't do well.
Lesnar didn't do too well either, did he?
Lesnar won the heavyweight champion.
Yeah, but what was his overall record?
It was pretty low, but there were times where I'm like, holy crap, this dude is scary good.
Okay.
Like scary good. But see, he had that.
And he got put in an ankle lock, and I think he tapped out on that one.
Yeah,
I'm not a big UFC guy though, so that's why I'm asking.
And that's the thing. Bucho said it best. He said Brock did awesome, but he was a legit, real wrestler. He's.
No, yeah, it's true. That's true. Well, Lesnar tried to walk on with the Vikings. Remember that? I think he made the practice squad. I don't think he ever saw real snaps.
Lesnar's a strange character.
Yeah.
Yeah. But so was Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle was a legit wrestler as well.
Yeah.
So were the Steiner brothers.
Because that's what they say. They say for mixed martial arts, if you're not somebody who's been trained to be a mixed martial artist, the best starting point is wrestling. So if you've done some wrestling, you can pick up.
Gotcha.
Because wrestling is so much of the control of a fight.
Right.
In mixed martial arts. Because if you take somebody down, a lot of people can't get up from it, and you just take them down, and hopefully some sort of submission opens up, and you do that. But I don't know. I mixed martial arts is one of those things. Bruce Lee and all that kind of stuff. I love that stuff. Amazing.
I love Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
I love Bruce. Technically, he started first MMA guy. Technically speaking,
he's the godfather of mixed martial arts. What they. He's
so
awesome.
we're talking about like, fighting and whatnot. Do you think there's a martial artist ever that could have taken Bruce Lee?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The thing is, it's kind of like if you could pluck Bruce Lee out of 1971, and put him in 2019, 2020, even.
Right.
The way that fighting has, or at least mixed martial arts, the way that he was kind of foresaw it, I don't know if he could have.
We're talking martial arts, not mixed martial arts.
Just in general? Yeah,
martial arts in general, because MMA is more than just kung fu or karate or whatever. It's submissions and kickboxing, along with all kinds of different things. So I was called.
But see, he did that kind of stuff in some of his fights, in some of his movies. He's done some submissions and things like that. I'll just say this: anyone is beatable with the right game plan and with the right technique.
I'm talking like could Chuck Norris have legit taken him? Could Steven Seagal have legit taken him? Tony Jaa, Michael Jai White, could those guys have, even Jason Statham, he's trained. Like, you think in an actual,
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Bruce Lee
That's
was.
what I'm talking about.
I mean, look. Here's the thing. If you did that, if you could do that, I would always root for Bruce Lee. Like.
Okay, fair. Me too.
Because it's like.
There's also something said about weight classes too with that kind of thing.
Right. Because he was like 135.
Yeah, he was like 135, and then you got like Michael Jai White, who is like
205,
260. Right.
Oh yeah.
He's huge.
And that's the thing that it's weird because Brian from Switched On, right? Bucho knows who he is. He always never liked mixed martial arts once they started putting weight classes in. Because he liked to see if a little small guy could beat the big crazy fat guy,
right.
Or
that's exciting.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but someone could get hurt bad.
But a lot of times the little shrimpy guy would beat the big guy because of submissions or whatever. And it was interesting because it was literal. Let's see if a karate guy can defeat a boxer, or let's see if. But now it's different because now it's everybody. All the fighters nowadays, they're so well rounded. They could do just about anything. Yeah. You might have a guy like there's a guy that I really like to watch. He started, I believe, in Taekwondo. Okay. No. I think he started in karate. Now I'm going blank on his name. Stephen Thompson, Wonder Boy, is his name. But I think he started in karate, and he's got this style where he's almost sideways to whoever he's fighting, and he's so much fun to watch. But man, he can't really take a punch anymore. He's too old. Right. And so every time he fights, it's like, oh, don't get hurt, because I like the guy, because he's like he keeps putting himself in these positions, and it drives me insane. I feel like Jet Li is one of those guys who would never quit, and would end up getting seriously hurt. Yeah. Because he wouldn't know when to stop, because he's just a go until I'm dead kind of guy. Right. But yeah,
Jet Li looks bad right now. Like, doesn't he have some kind of something wrong with him, where it's like speeding up his aging process? Like, he looks pretty bad right now.
You're talking about Jet Li? Yeah, Jet Li. Yeah. For some reason, I was like, Bruce Lee never had anything that we knew of anyway.
Jet Li, yeah.
Jet Li, yeah. I don't know. I think it's a thyroid thing. Yes. Okay. But man,
it's better now. Oh, okay.
I'll tell you what, Jet Li versus Bruce Lee could have been.
So now, okay, that's another good question. Who would have been that perfect match for Bruce Lee, the closest match for Bruce Lee?
Well, what's weird is like the whole stigma around Bruce Lee, right? Is that he was an actual fighter. He could actually kick people's butts, Yes. Jet Li was an actor. Do we know if he's ever competed? Is there anything like that? Because Bruce has.
That's a good question. You know what? There's a whole subculture of people like Bruce Lee haters who were basically don't think he could do the things people were saying he could do. Right. But I'm like, well, first of all, like, it's not Bruce Lee saying he's doing these things. It's everyone else saying Bruce Lee is doing these things. And stories match. So there's got to be some truth to Bruce Lee's badassness. But a lot of people will go, but a lot of people, like even Steven Seagal, they're like, oh, he's not a real martial artist. He's just an actor. Well, he is, though. Jackie Chan is a real martial artist. I don't know if they did competing like Chuck Norris did competing, Van Damme did competing, stuff like that. But these guys were actual martial artists. Donnie Yen is trained. Donnie Yen's badass, dude. Yeah. Those Ip Man movies are freaking great. I like Donnie Yen.
It would have. I mean, it would have really been interesting. But it's almost like, it's kind of like pound for pound type discussions. It's like, or do you think that Doc Brown could have killed, Dracula? Well, Doc Brown. Possibly. I mean.
Anything can happen, right?
But you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I mean, the technology in 1955, I mean, you could probably, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's so tough to, it is a fun conversation though. It's like,
oh, absolutely.
I figured Jackie Chan, Man, because as much crap as I used to give Jackie Chan, the dude is amazing and super athletic.
Yes, he is.
I just don't know. It's such a weird thing because Bruce Lee is the only one that I knew of. I mean, yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme did compete.
Well,
Chuck Norris did.
Yeah, right. They competed. Chuck Norris competed. To my knowledge, Steven Seagal actually competed too. But just because you don't do competition, and like Chuck Norris, Van Damme, I know for sure, like they did more like points, like Karate Kid style competing. You know what I mean? So like you get a point, break. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Right.
But just because you don't do that doesn't mean you can't kick some ass. You know what I'm saying? Jackie Chan actually has a Bruce Lee story as well. Jackie Chan was like an extra, a thug 4 or something.
Enter the Dragon.
Yeah. And he tells this story.
I love that story.
Yeah, Bruce Lee basically knocked him literally off his feet and he flew 700 yards or something like that. Like, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna believe Jackie Chan, who got kicked by Bruce Lee over some knucklehead who's probably never even seen a Bruce Lee movie, going, he can't fight. Bruce Lee is the closest thing to a Jedi we'll ever see.
Bruce Lee was
superhuman almost.
What I love is I mean, I know that there's controversy around, like the validity of that. What was it, Like Water, right? I think is the name of the ESPN. It's almost like a 30 for 30 that they did on Bruce Lee.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
It's actually I thought it was really good. I can see why people might say, oh, whatever. But I got to say, I've watched so much on him and read so much on him.
Same.
I think he was the real deal. He was one of those weird special people who just transcended human potential.
I agree. I agree with you. We're on the same page there for sure. But it's still like, people like to do boxing the same way. Do you think Tyson could have beat Ali? I do.
Yeah.
I honestly do. As much as I've been watching Tyson lately and not just Tyson, like I'm watching Ali fights, I'm watching old Foreman fights, I'm watching a lot of old boxing. I really think Tyson had a legit chance against Ali. Ali lost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you said, anyone can lose.
Well, I just think it's that one of those things that with the good game plan, you can defeat anyone.
Right.
And what happens is, fighters like that, boxers like that, whatever you want to say, think about it. It transcends sports. It transcends. I mean, everybody. You hear about those. The boogeyman almost.
Mm-hmm.
Like what was it? The God. See, I'm not a sports football dude. I'm just not. But like the Pittsburgh Steelers, their defense was known as they were like killers, right? Back in the 70s. Right. They're just men. But they had this I don't know what you call it. It's almost like a legend. They're not Darth Vader.
Like,
they're not
the 70s Steelers defense. I think they called it the Iron Curtain or something like that. And then you had the Vikings in the 70s had a top-notch defense. The Ravens in the thousands overall, like that was an amazing defense. But no, you're right. They're just men, but they're doing shit that just men shouldn't be doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was Bruce Lee. Doing stuff that just men shouldn't be doing.
I still think that for example, let's just alternate universe, the UFC starts in 1968 instead of what, 2002 or whatever it was.
Right.
So Bruce Lee joins and he's a UFC fighter.
Okay.
There's a good chance he could have gotten beaten by somebody because when you're the target,
this is true.
Everybody is looking at ways to beat you, and they watch hours and hours of film on you and how you move.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you're the king of the hill, everyone wants your crown. So duh, and the people you wouldn't think get beat. The people you wouldn't think beat the champ. Buster Douglas, come on, man. Why was he in a title, man? Buster Douglas is a fucking bum. He was a fucking bum, but he beat Mike Tyson.
Well,
he will forever be able to say, I handed Mike Tyson his first loss. You know, his next fight, Holyfield fucked him up.
Right. It's
Most
weird
notices
though.
are palm.
That happens sometimes in the UFC. You've
Sure.
got this fighter that is like, holy crap, this guy's amazing. He gets beat once, and the guy that beats him then gets beat on his next fight.
Right.
And it's like, okay, so he's not just a great fighter. He just learned how to beat that guy. You know what I mean?
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I think Buster Douglas' mom did die right before the fight, like a week before the fight or something like that. And you know, it's funny. I saw an interview with Tyson, and he was asked about that, and Tyson was like, "Look, I could sit here and give you all the excuses in the world, you know, that I was partying, I was out late, I was doing this and that, because he was doing all that stuff. You know, he goes, but he beat me. He was better than me that day. I'm not taking anything away from Douglas. He was better than me that day." And that's the thing about Mike Tyson too. Like it actually drives me fucking nuts that whenever anyone brings up Mike Tyson, he's become diminished to biting Holyfield's ear. And he was so much more than that, especially as a boxer. Oh my God, he's in my opinion one of the best ever. But that's all people remember. He bit his ear.
It's
They
not
don't
what I
talk about
remember.
why he bit his ear. Mike Tyson even said it. He was like, he was headbutting me the entire fight. I told the ref didn't do anything. I got fed up. He goes, "How is he headbutting me? He's shorter, he's taller than I am." No one knows that. No one talks about that. He got to a point, he kept getting headbutted over and over and over again. He said, "Fuck this," and bit the motherfucker's ear off. Holyfield had it coming. Who's the real bad guy here?
The Empire did nothing wrong. Oh, and there we go. We go bring it back to Star Wars.
Star Wars.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I love those conversations, and I hate those conversations for the same reason, because it's like, again, it's, you know,
it's fun to speculate though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's fun to speculate. Like even fuck Marciano, wasn't he like 50-0 when he retired? Like that's a tough thing. It's a tough thing to not get beat.
Yeah.
How would he have matched up against Ali? How would he have matched up against Tyson? You know what I'm saying? Like those are
See, I don't know enough about that to.
Well, the debate in sports period can be, you know, because like even Michael Jordan, you know, talking about LeBron James, and I saw something just the other day. They were like, LeBron James is playing in a league that's less physical than Michael Jordan played in. And while they're not wrong, do I think LeBron James is going to be lesser of a player if he played in the 90s with Michael Jordan? Probably not. You know, and one thing they brought up specifically was the hand check. You know, like if someone was dribbling the ball, their back was to you, used to be able to put your hand, you know, on the small of their back, on their hip or something like that. You can't do that anymore. You know, and even Charles Barkley, that's who I was listening to this interview of. He was like, you know, there were some guys that just had so much strength, like they could tell you where you were going. You know, and it's like you can't do that in today's basketball anymore. So he was kind of saying LeBron had it just a little bit easier. LeBron's not had to play teams like Jordan did with the Knicks and the Pistons, and I mean they went out there to try to hurt not just Michael Jordan, anyone they played. You know, I mean, and James has never had to deal with any of that kind of stuff. But it doesn't mean I don't think James could compete in 90s basketball. You know what I'm saying? He's king of the hill for a reason. I think he would have been fine. I do. Does he win as many MVPs if he played with Jordan? Probably not. Does he win as many championships as he has playing with Jordan in Jordan's era? Probably not.
I mean,
against Jordan.
And that's the thing that I always used to think about back then when I actually watched basketball, was during Jordan's reign, I guess you could say, is how many of those other players would have been absolute superstars at the level of Jordan if Jordan wasn't playing at the time.
If Jordan wasn't playing at the time, I think Scottie Pippen would have been like probably top 2, top 3, top 5 guys in basketball. Scottie Pippen, his numbers are not, an indication of how good a player Scottie Pippen was. Matter of fact, that year Jordan was gone, I think Pippen finished second in MVP voting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Scottie Pippen does not get the credit Scottie Pippen deserves. I'm so glad he is in the Hall of Fame. Scottie Pippen, here's the thing. Without Pippen, Jordan don't have 6 rings.
Right.
Now, you can say the same thing about Pippen. He ain't getting 6 rings without Jordan, obviously. But they needed each other. They worked so well together. In my opinion, they're probably the greatest like duo in basketball history. You know, you've got Malone and Stockton. You had Kobe and Shaq. You had Jordan and Pippen. You know what I mean? Like Jordan and Pippen, shit. Those 2 guys are always on my starting 5, no matter what. I don't care that Kobe's better than Pippen. I don't care that LeBron's better than Pippen. I want Pippen and Jordan playing together,
right,
at all times. But you take well, not only that. How many guys would have won rings if it weren't for Jordan?
I know.
You know,
I've thought about that.
Drexler, does he win one with Portland? Does Wilkins win one with the Hawks? If there's no, does Barkley win one? Period. Without Jordan, you know what I'm saying? Does Malone win one without Jordan? Malone never got a ring.
You know,
Malone is salty as fuck. He is salty as hell over Michael Jordan, and when Jordan's brought up, you know. He is extremely like he doesn't like it, but that's a great question. You're right. That can't be said about LeBron James in the LeBron James era. How many people would have won MVPs and this and that? Well, they're doing it. People are doing it. So
right. Yeah. I just think it was one of the things that there every now and then you get that amazing athlete in whatever given sport that just changes the way that you think about that sport. And Jordan was that man. Absolutely. Jordan was that man. And it was like, I mean, and in a way he probably, I'm like, I don't know jack about basketball. Gosh, you're definitely not following this channel for basketball information. Talk, right? But at the same time, I feel like Jordan, we wouldn't have Kobe Bryant the way Kobe Bryant was without Jordan. You wouldn't have LeBron the way LeBron is without Jordan. Both of them guys were huge Michael Jordan fans. And it was like the inspiration that somebody like that does to a sport is just, it cannot be understated, you know? Right. No, right. Like you have, it brings the level up, you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. It's dude, the whole I want to be like Mike thing back in the day, like that was real. Yeah, that was real. Don't even think about that, but yeah, everybody was on a basketball court with their tongue out, no matter if you were black or white. Everybody did it. I did it, of course. You know, Kobe Bryant, you know, now people shooting Kobe Bryant grew up going Mike, right? But right. Jordan for 3, doing the fadeaway, right? Exactly. Michael Jordan said in an interview one time, the interviewer goes, who would win? He goes, if you're in your prime, Kobe's in his prime, who wins one-on-one? Michael Jordan goes, Kobe, because he stole all my moves. But that's the thing. He modeled himself to play like Michael Jordan. Right. You know, just like people, you know, you're going to get a whole slew of kids coming out of college who modeled their play after Kobe Bryant. You know, it's just a thing. You're right. Michael Jordan, he changed basketball, completely changed basketball. Did you see what Leon said? He wants to be like Bugs Bunny. Space Jam got you into basketball briefly. You know what? I'm going to say it, and you guys can boo me and hiss me if you want. Space Jam sucks. I watched it a few months ago, dude. It's just not good. It is not good. Michael Jordan can't act for fuck. Now, to be fair, no one accused him of being an actor. Right. He was in a movie. It was bad. Bill Murray was the best part of the movie. So more Bill Murray. I remember liking the movie back then, but I haven't seen it in. I used to like it back then too. You know what else I used to love when I was a kid? Rookie of the Year. I watched that recently as an adult. So, you know what? If you guys are learning anything from this, don't ruin your childhood memories of movies by watching them as an adult.
Rookie of the year. I can't stand that little shithead Henry Rowan Gardner. He's a little selfish little prick. If I was his friends, I'd have beat his ass.
I'm trying to think. There were movies that I liked. I'm trying to think of some like really bad ones that I really liked, and I watch them now and I go, my God. I'll tell you I'll tell you one of the ones that I used to defend was Howard the Duck until I watched it again.
I used to love Howard the Duck, dude.
But you watch it now and it's like,
I haven't seen that in recent years, so I might need to go back and
I don't remember where I saw it. I saw it on something. Something was streaming it. And I watched it, or maybe it was on cable. Like back when I had cable. But I just watched it and I remember going, I used to love this movie. And it is bad. It is really bad. Like it's not just bad, it's boring. Like I'm sitting there going, I don't know, it's just weird. But there's some of those movies that are like that though, you know, and some movies are better than you remember.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh, Little Monsters, absolutely. That one's great. Little Monsters still holds up. It is so good. Howie Mandel's amazing in that movie. Howie Mandel's great in Little Monsters.
I'm trying to think, like, it's weird how sometimes there's a movie, like for example, I mean, I'm going to say Gremlins. It's a bad example, but Gremlins is one of those movies that's good almost because of how much you liked it back then. But you can still watch it and go, you know what? That's actually a pretty damn good movie. It's actually really well done.
Gremlins 2, on the other hand,
I don't even remember Gremlins 2. Honestly,
it was. I think it was intentionally kind of a parody of itself. It was whack. It was really not good, honestly.
But that's one of those where didn't Joe Dante, right, the director, he didn't really want to make the movie that they were asking him to make. So he intentionally did some things that were, so it's almost like, oh, it's a studio movie and the guy's fighting against the studio, kind of interesting story, but the movie is kind of like, eh. But Total Recall was one of those where I expected it to be bad and was just hashtag blown away. I was surprised at how good it was. Like, I was surprised at how much I was enjoying it, even with the kind of janky rotoscoping that they had to do. You know, their blue screen back then.
Right.
The story itself it really holds up.
Yeah, no, I think it's good. I like Total Recall.
Like, I love the idea that you really don't know if he's asleep or awake the whole time. Really, you just don't know.
I think Running Man.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Pretty good. It's out there, but it's supposed to be.
Right.
You know, there's times when you got to do, like, you got to take movies and take them for what they are, and you got to be able to suspend reality in not just movies, in games as well. You know,
right.
And if you can suspend reality in a lot of movies, especially in the 80s, you know, there's a lot of good stuff back then. A lot of good stuff.
But then there's some real, just like absolute trash.
Oh, like, yeah, for sure.
Like, I remember one of the movies that I really liked when I was here. This is a good one because this one's, I'm sorry, I don't know if there's fans of this movie. Like, I don't know if it's like a cult classic. I used to love it. It's absolute trash now. Battle Beyond the Stars.
I've never seen that.
It's a, you know, it's a sci-fi movie, you know, all that kind of stuff. But it's the guy from, what is it, The Waltons?
Okay.
I can't remember. He was in It. He's got the big mole on his face. Not that that's, you know, but, you know, he's got the big mole on his face.
Yeah, I know.
Richard Thomas? Is that his name?
I can't think of his name.
You know who I'm talking about, though. Huh?
He had the glasses, right? In It?
I don't remember.
Maybe.
Anyway, yeah, that guy. That movie sucks. Ice Pirates. That's another one that sucks.
Ice Pirates?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were lots of those movies back then that I used to love to watch, and you watch them now and they suck. And Jim, if you're watching, I'm sorry, but Flash Gordon sucks.
Flash Gordon sucks.
I can't stand it.
I'm totally with you on Flash Gordon.
There's some funny stuff in it, and there's memey stuff in the movie, but that doesn't make the movie good.
Yeah, no, you're right. You know what? Speaking of, this is a good way to segue.
Thanks for the follow, champ.
A lot of people, you know, like I'm big on music. I don't know if you know that about me. Like, I love music, right?
Right.
a lot of people think of a movie or a song in a movie and be like, that has a really good soundtrack. Well, hang on. Did you listen to everything on the soundtrack? Or are you remembering Cruel Summer by Bananarama and Karate Kid and associating that one good song with an entire good soundtrack? A lot of people mistakenly say movies have good soundtracks, and they really don't. They really don't. Rocky had a pretty good soundtrack. Top Gun had a pretty good soundtrack. Forrest Gump had a fucking great soundtrack.
You had talked about that on one of your shows one time, or one of your streams. I mean, you do a billion streams, so you probably don't remember.
Yeah. No, I do remember.
It was like, you kind of have to look at it as, was all of this music written with the movie in mind, or did the songs come out within a year of the movie being out, or is this a compilation? Like Forrest Gump is a compilation of older music.
Right.
That's kind of like, I almost think those don't count. You know what I mean? Because
okay, so I understand that, because when we're talking about soundtracks in video games as well, I don't like to say GTA. Amazing soundtrack, great playlists, right?
Right.
But that's not music made for the game. That was music just plucked out of and go, hey, let's put all this on the 80s radio channel. Here you go.
Right.
Versus like God of War.
Where there's
love
a score
that instrumental orchestra. That like it's yeah. So I'm with you on that one. So let's take Forrest Gump out of it. Forrest Gump don't
like
count.
Pulp Fiction. Those songs are pitch perfect for the movie, for the scenes in the movie.
Right.
But I can't count that as like a good soundtrack or a good score. Like Top Gun is a great soundtrack.
It is, and a lot of that was written for the movie by Kenny Loggins. A lot of stuff, but it has a combination, obviously. Right. Let's see, what's the bar scene? We've Lost That Love and Feeling. Wasn't that Righteous Brothers?
Mm-hmm.
So obviously that wasn't written for the movie.
Right.
But what about like
Berlin?
Labyrinth is a great soundtrack.
Yeah.
That is such a good soundtrack, dude. And all of that was
talked about that one too.
For the movie. Yeah. Labyrinth is an amazing soundtrack. Yeah, Berlin, they did Take My Breath Away. I think it was for the soundtrack. And then, obviously it probably came out later. What about Transformers the movie? I know there's a lot of you got a lot of Stan Bush. You even have Weird Al in there. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if any of those songs were written for the movie. The Touch, you got the Touch? That was not. That's an older song, I believe, isn't it?
Really? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Touch? Let's see here. I might be wrong on that one.
Dude, yeah, that's a soundtrack that I really did enjoy at the time. I've gotten to the point where, for me, a lot of 80s music, it all sounds the same to me, in a way. So I don't even like listening to 80s music all the time. It's like all the songs that you can think of from the 80s that were hits and that were good and all that kind of stuff, right? I've heard them all 40,000 times, and it's kind of like one of those where I'm like, okay, I've heard it enough. I only need to hear those once a year now. I don't want to hear them over and over. I can't do it, because then it just drives me insane. Like, that's what's great about hey, little Jay's stream plug. It's one of the things that's so much fun about your stream, is that you'll play some songs every now and then that I'm like, oh man, that was good. That was a good song, and it's fun. Yeah. But I
play a lot of the same stuff too, but a lot of it's requested stuff as well.
Yeah.
So, but no, I like to definitely. I got a guy or two, like almost every song is like song and artist, please. The Touch apparently was written for the movie.
Oh, well, there you go.
So I was wrong about that one. I thought it came out before.
See, here we go. See, Bucho
as well.
Run DMC sounds like Duran Duran. Public Enemy sounds like Wham. Bon Jovi sounds like Def Leppard. No, you know what I mean. It's just that whole era. It's
well. See, okay. So what you meant?
I'm done with that era for a while.
The thing is, you've got different genres, and they do all sound pretty similar. Like Motley Crue and Poison, and yes, even Def Leppard, in that genre of
they almost have
sound alike. Yes.
It's almost like they have the same mixer. That they,
I know, right?
You know what I mean? Yeah. They all kind of have the same kind of fidelity.
Van Halen falls in that, and then you've got on the other end of it, you've got your more kind of poppy stuff like Depeche Mode, Flock of Seagulls, and all that stuff is kind of the same ish. So I knew what you meant, but
well, yeah, but Bucho loves.
Oh, I know.
Oh, he loves to.
I know.
but like it's that way with everything though, and that's why like there's points where I just get tired of music because it's like I've heard the verse chorus bridge chorus so many times that I'm tired of that package.
Here's the great thing. First of all, I want guitar solos to come back. Like we don't have guitar solos anymore in rock and roll. And that kind of hurts my heart a little bit. But the great thing about music is though, you can put in a different time. You can put in a different era. Put in, you know what I mean? You can go from, okay, I'm tired of hearing all this kind of stuff. Let's flash it back to the 50s or the 60s or something, or even the 70s. Rock and roll was different in the 70s than it was in the 80s.
Right.
Dragonfire is just guitar solos. Sign me up. But no, I'm with you on that.
But you know what I mean? It's like it's almost like
it's like in the 90s with grunge rock. It all sounded the same.
Yeah, after a while, yeah.
It all sounded the same.
At the beginning, it was like, oh my God, what is this? This is awesome. This is fun. Yeah. But
because
then it was like, everybody sounded like this and had a bottle.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like you started with Nirvana and then Pearl Jam broke pretty hard after that. And then it was like, everybody, this is what we want to sound like. Everyone sounds the same.
Everybody had to talk with their jaw out. So I kind of had this thing.
Eddie Vedder sounds like he's trying to force a dump.
But that's the thing. That's Eddie Vedder, though. You know what I mean? Everybody else sounds.
I know. Yes. No, I know.
And what's weird is I got out of Pearl Jam for a long time because I was like, I'm tired of that whole whatever. Now I've gone back and listened to some of their recent stuff, and I'm like, I kind of like this. I kind of like some of the stuff.
That's okay. You know who I didn't really get.
But it doesn't sound like old Pearl Jam. It sounds like something like almost like a Neil Young.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of like it. Folky thing. It's kind of cool.
With that. You know who I didn't really care about then, and I'm listening to more of her now, and I'm like, you know what? Not bad. Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
I didn't care about her back in the day, but I've, for whatever reason, just been listening to more and more of her stuff lately, obviously older stuff. And I'm like, all right. She's got more than just ironic.
Yeah. Right. And it's weird though. It's like
nobody sounds like Billy Corgan. Billy Corgan don't even sound like Billy Corgan.
Yeah. That's what's weird. If you hear him in an interview, you're like, who the hell is this guy? And then he starts, everything is like that. But I still like him as a songwriter. It's weird.
That's okay.
He did some cool stuff in the Melancholy and Adore days. I like some of that stuff. And then he got too weird, artsy. Like, I'm such an artist. He Tim Burtoned his own career, basically.
Tim Burtoned his own career?
Yeah, his music career. Where it's almost like, oh, I've got this thing that makes me different, I'm going to turn it up to 11.
Gotcha.
And Tim Burton tries every now and then he'll break out and do something cool. But for the most part, it's Tim Burton being really Tim Burton. You know what I mean?
Right.
If that makes any sense.
I do know what you mean. Tim Burton.
Like get out of your own head and just do the thing. Do the thing.
Right. Okay, I got a question. What is your favorite? Oh shit! I just lost it. Tim Curry role.
Tim Curry.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because I was there when you guys were talking about it the other night.
Okay.
For me, it's got to be. You're talking about favorite role or best role? Because there's a difference.
Both.
Okay, so I think probably his most meaty acting role was and this is kind of cheesy, but I love the Three Musketeers, and I love his.
Did not expect that.
I love his character in that.
Okay.
There's something just this sniveling. I just love the way he acts in that. But then probably my favorite. There's just something about Legend, man.
Dude, Darkness, right? Holy hell. He was so good in that. That is
it's whatever that effect is that they have on his voice.
yeah.
Because it's him, but they've pitched adjusted it.
Yeah.
Pitch adjusted.
Yeah, no, Darkness for sure. Um, you know one of my favorite movies of his though is
What's that?
Clue.
Yeah, see, I've only seen Clue, like bits and pieces of Clue. I'd never seen the whole thing.
Love that movie.
You were talking about it, and I'm like, oh shit! Can I see that anywhere? Is it on Just Watch? Where can I find it?
Dude, I used to just love the shit. He plays the butler, and he's just like
Take it easy, Bucho. Have a good one.
all over the place with, you know what I mean? Like he's running around the entire house putting out fires all over the place, and it's like it's funny. It's funny. It's good.
You see that from Champ there?
Hey, what's up, Connor? Almost Famous and High Fidelity are electric soundtracks. Pretty good soundtracks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Well, Lightning Fast Guitar Soothsayer by Buckethead. All right. I will be streaming in a little bit. Maybe like an hour and a half or so.
Well, dude, speaking of that, I mean, we're an hour over your 8:38, 7:38.
I don't care. Like I'm just having fun.
Well, cool.
The shit. So I don't know. I mean, yeah, I can't be on much longer. But
I know. I need to go eat dinner too, but
right. I need to eat before I stream because that's the thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because you do those marathon type streams. It's like,
dude, sometimes, man, you have to.
You just do it.
You just do it. Forget about it. So,
but yeah, and Eagle Ford brought up David Gilmour. I mean, I love David Gilmour, but he's I don't know. He's Pink Floyd, right? I mean, I don't know if you like.
I like Pink Floyd. I do like Pink Floyd.
I don't know if he's almost in his own genre in a way. It's weird.
Talking,
and you like Eddie Van Halen though, right? You're big on Eddie, right?
Eddie Van Halen's amazing, dude. He's fucking great. Like as a guitarist, he's great. I love Eddie Van Halen. I like
It's weird how we're just skipping like we're like Tim Curry then.
But like if I had to go like top 5 guitarists like ever, for me Eddie Van Halen's in there, Jeff Beck is in there, Zakk Wylde's in there. No, Hendrix is not in my top 5. I think Hendrix is extremely overrated. I appreciate what he did for the sound. Like he did a lot of stuff first. He just wasn't the best at it. And I think people have a hard time distinguishing that. I understand, you're a pioneer with foot pedals and effects. Awesome. Great job. But there were people who did it way better than you did. Stevie Ray Vaughan's good.
I was gonna say Stevie Ray.
I know there's better, but I love Slash. I really do. I love Slash, honestly. A lot of people like to scoff at that, but Slash is fucking amazing, dude. Dimebag Darrell is pretty great. Let's see here. Joe Satriani. I was recently turned on to him. He's pretty damn good. Let's see here. You got Jimmy Page, John Frusciante. Okay, Jeff Beck. See, I said Jeff Beck too. I think Jeff Beck is probably number 1 for me. Honestly,
It's weird though because, like for me, in a lot of ways, I know that I know you brought this up by saying you want the guitar solo to come back.
Yeah,
I like songwriters. I like the crafting of a song, and sometimes they'll hit it, but I don't know if a lot of those guys that we've been talking about, they're not the best song crafters, if that makes any sense.
No, you're right about that.
It's weird.
Yeah, but see, you gotta, when it comes to a lot of times when it comes to bands, you don't have one guy doing it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a collaborative effort. So, like, you think Slash is going to say, "Hey, Axl, write my riff for me"? No, of course not. You know what I'm saying? But songwriting, the words being spoken and the words being said, yeah, that's hugely important. I think in music, you got to tell a story. Every song should have a story to it. And this is like, I'm a huge Eminem fan. Nobody can tell a story like Eminem. Like, you listen to an Eminem song and you're in it. You know exactly what's going on. He gets down to pretty great detail a lot of times with things he's saying. And that's not the only kind of music I like. You know, recently, for the first time, I'm actually listening more to like rock and roll stuff I listened to growing up and whatnot. Poison, Something to Believe In. That is a great song with good substance to it. Listen to that song and listen to the words. Listen to what Bret Michaels is saying. It is. I didn't. You know, back in the day, it's like, oh, here comes another power ballad. It's deep. That's a deep fucking song, dude.
It's weird though because, if I'm remembering correctly, that song, I can't remember how that song it's got like 4 chords in it.
It's got, well, yeah, like 4, I guess, verses, but every verse he's talking about something different. Like in one, he's talking about an old war vet, old Vietnam vet, and the stuff he's going through after the fact, after the war and whatnot. You know, one verse is about his a friend of his that died. You know, and it's just really deep. Like, you listen to that song and right now, I don't know, maybe right now especially, but it's like, holy shit, like this song is hitting me in a way it never has before. It's kind of crazy. That's a really good one.
It's weird though because like for me, lyrics are, I guess it's just because I'm a weird sound guy, but lyrics are the least important thing to me in a song. Like that's okay. like to me, there's like, for example, country music. I can't get into country music because of the way it sounds.
Okay.
They could be saying the coolest, most awesome, most thought-provoking thing ever, and I can't get past the music.
I got you.
But you know what I mean? It's like, that's just how I work. And there have been, I've told this kind of story before, but it's one of those things where there's been times when I've been listening to a song and I love the song, and then later I find out what it says and I'm like, holy crap, that's hardcore. Or, oh my, for example, there was one that, there was one song that I was listening to and I picked up the album and was listening to it like on repeat, loved it. I'm listening to the song, not listening to the lyrics at all. I'm listening to it with April in the car, you know? And she goes, did he just say F your God? And I'm like, what? No. And I play it back and I'm like, holy crap, he's saying that. And I had no idea. I had no clue that that's what he was saying. Because I don't listen to the lyrics.
When you listen to a song, you're listening to the music.
The crafting of the way everything works together.
I used to be that guy, honestly. Like I would have to hear a song like 5, 7, 10 times before I was actually listening to the words and what was being said. It's crazy because what broke that mold for me was Eminem. It was Eminem. Like I was just hanging on to every word this dude said. You know what I mean? Like it was just crazy. And now like everything since, everything I go back and listen to, and that's why I'm going back and I'm listening to Morissette, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's actually pretty damn good. Like, you know, not just some whiny bitch.
Yeah.
And then Something to Believe In, Poison. And it was just the other day, honestly, probably like maybe a week ago, I really listened to the song and what he was saying and what he was talking about. And I was just like, shit, man, holy hell.
And that's happened to me. That's happened to me multiple times where I'm listening to a song and finally am turning off the sound mixer, sound design, sound editor, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And I'm listening to the lyrics and I go, oh, wow, that's actually really thought provoking. I never would have.
The thing is, all that stuff's important. I think amateur sound people, not that I'm any kind of fucking pro or anything like that, but music especially, I've known a lot of people who, you know, have had bands and pressed albums and this and that. A common mistake people do is it's not mixed properly. And usually the case is, while you say it's the least important thing to you, it is still important enough to where you need to hear what is being said if you're trying to listen to what's being said. Right. And a lot of people make the mistake of having the music just cranked too loud and you can't hear the singer.
Well, and it's like, and this is one of those things that always gets me into trouble, but especially depending on the friends that are around. But that's why I could never get into early Metallica.
Okay.
Is because it sounds like it was recorded in a damn garage. It sounds bad, and the rhythm is off. You know, Lars is over there doing his thing, and the guitar, you know, whoever's playing, they're not on the same thing, and it messes with my head, and I go, bah, I don't like it.
I understand that. It drives me nuts too.
Kill them all.
There's actually like some really early Eminem stuff that does that too. And I know I keep going back to Eminem, but that's the point of reference I have for it.
Right.
Where I'm like, I'm doing this. I'm like, find the beat, get back. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of, and it doesn't happen often, and it doesn't happen for a long time in that song. But when it happens, it's noticeable. And yeah, it drives me insane too. It drives me super insane. A lot of YouTubers actually had issue with having the music too loud. This is something like Billy's bad about this. He's gotten better over the years. And Melvor is really bad about this too. You know, you got background music playing and whatnot. It's just too loud. It's too overbearing. You can't hear what the guy on screen is saying. And that's not good mixing.
Yeah.
You got to have everything. Another thing people can't do, like, is adjust your radio settings. You can't, like, you know, you have to play with the mids and the highs, not just the bass. You have to play with all that to get that perfect, like, I can hear everything. I can hear the bass. I can hear the drums. I can hear the guitar, and I can understand what the vocalist is saying.
Yeah,
you have to adjust all those things. A lot of people just crank up the bass and go. That's rookie. That's Bush League.
See, Jay's over here gatekeeping music now. Just all of music.
All of music. Like, I don't care what you listen to. If you want the best listening experience, adjust the levels in your car, all of them. Go in there and play around with it. And everyone in here right now, when they get in their car, they're going to go see what they got their things on.
Yeah.
Some radios, more so now than in the past, but some radios don't even have that mid. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's a super important, not just treble and bass. You've got to have the mid as well. Like I said, more radios now than, you know, did in the 90s and 80s.
I'll tell you this right now. My car is set flat.
Is it?
And the reason it's flat is because I don't know what speakers are in that car, but it sounds amazing in there.
Okay.
So I leave it flat. And I have a song that in fact it's not the song that's playing at the beginning of the show, but it's one of my songs. Mm-hmm. And it's one of those where it's like, okay, if this song doesn't sound good, because it's got way highs, it's got mids, and it's got lows. And if it doesn't sound right, it's not going to work. I'll put it in there. And I'm like,
it sounds good, you know. And just because you can adjust doesn't mean you have to adjust.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, if your radio came factory set to where it just sounds good already, I can't tell you how many times I've been in someone's car, you know, and we start driving, and immediately the radio just sucks, you know. And I'll ask, like, hey, can I adjust your yeah, go ahead. And then I play around with it, and they're like, holy shit, like they're listening to music for the first time. They're like, what did you do? I'm like, I just adjusted your bass treble and your you know what I mean?
And it could be that they blew a speaker, you know, or you know what I mean? There's all kinds of weird
things.
Things.
Or you don't have it balanced front and back. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, wait a minute. Balance and fade, I do that every time.
Right. See, that's the thing, people, they don't think about that kind of thing. And it's funny that you do and I do, and it's funny we're talking about it now. Because you got it, like, if you got some speakers that are going out, you need to pull some off of that.
Right.
Because then they're gonna pop, and it's just gonna be bad. It's gonna sound like shit, and you absolutely are gonna have to replace them.
Right.
But no, sometimes, like, it's not like I've had cars where the bass is just overpowering, even on zero. So I actually have turned it down into the negative, just to get it balanced out right. with the treble and the mids. It just depends on the radios, depends on the speakers. You can make anything sound good if you adjust the levels. Anything can sound good. So
and there you go.
Music talk.
Yeah. Well, dude, yeah, I think we need to wrap this up because
let's
holy
wrap
crap.
it up.
But yeah, of course, guys. I mean, most of you probably already know that Jay streams a lot. I mean, I don't know if you actually have a set schedule, but you're streaming tonight. I know that, right?
I am. Yeah. I'll be on. You know what? It's little bit later than it was 20 minutes ago. So I'll probably be on in about an hour or so.
Yeah.
Probably 10 o'clock.
But yeah,
I do stream. Sorry, I do stream every day, Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Twitch. If you don't mind me plugging that.
oh, of course, that's the Screenwave Media, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And then I do my regular streams on YouTube at night, and there, I mean, I'm probably 5 nights a week.
Yeah.
On that, I usually the weekends can be a little rough. You know, like people got paid, spending a little more money, so I'm up a little bit later. Drinking a little more too. So I usually take Sundays off. And now that football season is in full effect, I'm watching football on Sundays as well. And then during school year, I don't stream on Wednesdays because my son spends the night and I got to get him up early on Thursday for school the next day. So those are probably, thank you. Thank you.
There you go.
Yeah. So like Sundays is going to be a crapshoot. Wednesdays is a no-go. Unless for some reason me and his mom switch days or something. But usually Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'm streaming on YouTube. Usually at night. Fridays depends. Like last night, I got started late. So if it gets started later, I'm streaming later, obviously. But I don't think I got started till like 11:30. I had a 9 o'clock softball game. I played, softball on Fridays. By the time the game ended, it's 10 o'clock. 10:10, 10:15 by the time I got out of there, and then I stopped and grabbed some food and whatnot, came home and changed and ate, and it was about 11:30 when I got. But tonight, like I said, I'll be ready to rock and roll here in about an hour.
There you go. And I got to tell you guys, I mean, wow. I mean, how many times have I've been in there there's been times I go in there for like 30 minutes, and then there's times when I go in there for like 4 hours.
Yeah.
And it's like I just completely forget that I have things to do, or
well, my streams are a lot like this podcast. Like nothing really is. I can't say nothing's off limits because I actually we don't do politic talk. We don't do religious talk. Outside of that,
that's a rule here too.
Yeah, there's not much that's off limits. We talk about everything, anything and everything. We got the party rocking all night long. YouTube will stop my stream for detecting copyrighted audio. I just pause it for a little bit and we come right back. So
yeah,
they'll never shut down the real Napster.
It really, it really is. I mean, it's a blast. And and then your daily streams, your kind of afternoon streams, those are kind of like, you're just playing. I mean, I don't know how to describe those games, but I enjoy those too.
It's indie games.
Yeah.
And that's what they want me doing on that channel, so that's what I do. That one is way more toned down because it's, that's an actual like paid thing I'm doing. So on my stream, shit, let's get on there and fuckity fuck and all that. You know what I mean? Like that's how we roll on YouTube. But on Twitch, on someone else's Twitch, I keep it a little more professional, a little more toned down because again, they're paying me to be over there streaming. So I don't want to cut off that source of revenue. So
right. No, I get it. But those are a lot of fun too. And I, in fact, what was that game? Creeks. I really enjoyed that one. Yeah. That one was really cool.
I had to phone a friend. Like you called me, I think twice, and we're like, okay, go here. It's hard to do because of the delay.
Right, but it was fun. That was fun though. Yeah. And that was the whole thing. Is like I didn't want to disturb you, but at the same time, it's like I really feel like I could help him.
I'm totally open to that. Absolutely, dude. I was struggling. I needed it. You saved me.
It was so much fun. It was so fun. But
that was actually a fun game, Creeks.
Yeah,
it was fun.
In fact, I had it on my it was a free game on my iPad.
Really?
So I was playing it on there, and it looks exactly the same.
Interesting.
It's really cool, yeah.
Interesting.
But
I beat Cuphead in the end. So yeah, that's the other thing is like it's more modern stuff I'm doing, indie stuff. And while Cuphead's not a new game, it's new on PlayStation 4. Right. I didn't get a chance. I played for like 10 minutes at a friend's house one day on Xbox. And I was like, this is really cool. I really like the art, the graphics, the gameplay is easy. I like the sound. The sound's great in there. It really is. I love.
It's beautiful. Beautifully made.
It really is. It really is. So I got it on PS4 the other day. It is hard. That is a hard game.
Yeah.
I do need one more mini boss to get to the final fight. Just one more on that third aisle. I had two yesterday. I was just playing on my own. Dude, I've gone an entire hour and a half stream doing my 4 to 5:30 and not beat the boss I'm on. Is aggravatingly hard, but it's so fun.
I couldn't do it.
Dude, and then you
I
get
don't
close,
have the patience for it.
you get close, and then you're like, no, I got this. I got it. Watch, I'm doing it. And then you get annihilated. Like, no, one more time. But it is such a fun game. If you guys have the means, pick up Cuphead. If you never got a chance to play it on Xbox, pick it up. There
It's
is
on
an
Switch too, right? Isn't it? I think.
Maybe, I think so. There is an easy mode. The problem with that is you're not going to be able to advance unless you beat it on that harder mode. And what's funny is after you beat it, you unlock actual hard mode. Imagine that. Let that sink in for a second.
No.
Yeah, no. No, I'm good. I want to beat it where it is, and I'm going to just take my little victory and
Right.
pat myself on the back and be like, good job, buddy. I say that now, but no, I'm going to probably not be streaming that going forward. Maybe not. I mean, there's games coming out all the time.
Right.
I just got to find something that's interesting to me. I know we got a couple games coming up that they've asked me to stream and asked if I wanted to stream. So they're getting me codes on that. But yeah, so much for ending the podcast, huh?
Hey, that's how it goes here. You know.
Yeah. Well, this is like my stream.
It's so much fun.
Yeah,
it's so much fun. Well, the only difference is I there's not some pesky game in the way of.
True. True.
But anyway, let's wrap it up, guys. Go check him out. Of course, if you want, if you can,
please.
If you have the means, it's awesome. Yeah, it is a fun time. Huh?
I said I always say that. If you have the means, you know where I got that from?
Where?
Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's talking about the Porsche. Yeah, or the Ferrari.
If you have
so
the means,
choice. I recommend you pick one up. Yeah, I got that from a 1986 movie or whatever it was, and I've basically been saying it ever since.
I swear, there's things. Yeah, there's many things like that I could.
Dude, well, me and you, like, we quote movies all the time. Like, that's just something we've always done.
Well, it's weird though. It's like
does it.
Everyone
does it.
Everyone I know does it.
Yeah.
Everyone I've ever hung out with, the best. Okay, okay, real quick before we go. This is one of the things that Jerry used to do. He would pull out the random Star Wars quotes, and we're not talking about the kind of quotes that everybody says.
Right.
I seriously almost lost my mind when he did this. We were working, and a guy came up and asked him, he's like, hey, wait a minute, hold on. I got to remember exactly, because it doesn't work if I don't say it right.
Okay. Shit. While you're thinking, United Goose Game is fun but short. Never heard of that one.
Untitled Goose Game. Oh, you'd love that game. You'd love it.
Untitled. Wow, I can't read apparently. Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah, that game's fun.
Wow, I saw United.
No, but it was something along the lines of like a guy asked him if he needed any help. He said no. He said, "Are you sure you don't need anything else?" And he goes, "Well, unless you can teleport me, unless you can alter time, speed up the harvest, or teleport me off this rock."
That's funny.
And it was like, no one says that. No one quotes that part of the movie. So it was just, it's funny the way that Jerry does it. He'll pull out those weird random things, and it was just it was so funny to me. But anyway, guys, go check out Jay.
All right, I'm gonna shut up because we won't end if I don't.
Go check out Jay.
I appreciate you letting me on, man. I love being on here.
Of course, man. And you're always, again,
love it.
You're still at 20 years, however many years later, you're still like another brother or
dude.
Whatever.
I was 18, 19 when I met you, something like that.
97, right?
Yes.
So I was 21.
Yes, I would have been 18. Was it 97 or 98?
think it was 97 because that's when I started at Blockbuster and you started just very shortly after I did.
Okay, I think it was. You know what it was? I think it was towards the winter part of 97, so late 97.
Yep.
So yeah, I was 18 when I met you.
40090.
40090.
Do you remember yours?
I don't.
40635.
That's right,
and,
actually.
And Rufus was, I think, 41644.
That's funny.
And it's because we had to had to set you guys up, you know, to assign it to you. But anyway.
I still have my Blockbuster cards in my wallet.
I don't have the cards, but I still have my name tags and stuff. But.
I have my name tags too, but my cards are actually in my wallet that I carry around every single day.
That's awesome.
I don't know why. I mean, obviously I don't need them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're not going to, you can't use that for anything.
Can't use it for, I mean, you can use it to jimmy a door. Like if you, I can do that actually, you know, like a credit card.
Yeah.
Get the thing to open up. I can do that.
I've never been able to do that. Anyway, guys.
All right.
We'll see you guys later. Go check out Jay. It's a lot of fun. We'll see you next time. Bye, guys. Bye.